Tanya is with us. Tanya is in New York City. Hi, Tanya. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Hi, John. Been listening to you guys since May 2020. Thank the pandemic.
Wow.
I'm currently, yes, I'm currently on baby step 2 with a student loan, $6,000, and car lease. I know, don't hate me, Dave, $6,000. I bring home $6,500 a month. My car lease ends February 2023. I have a baby step 3 question. What do I do first? Do I save for the 3 to 6 emergency fund or save for my next car?
3 to 6 emergency fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The car upgrades and couches and home purchases and vacations and all those things are fine after you have an emergency fund in place. But if you do those things without an emergency fund in place, you are inviting an emergency.
100%.
Gotcha.
You'll have it.
Yeah, you're just kind of like
Gotcha.
looking at the rain clouds going, rain on me.
Taking
Yes,
all
and
of
I'll
your
be
precious
done with-
things in the yard and saying, you won't rain on me. Do it. Do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
just make sure you finish and so we stay gazelle intense until we get through baby step 3. $1,000 in the bank is 1. Be debt free, but the house is baby step 2. Emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. That's the foundation that you build your life on financially. And so you stay very intense, very focused. Don't buy anything until you get those 3 things done. When you've got those things done, then you save up and you get a better couch, you get a better car, you get a better house, you get a better whatever it is. And you're paying cash for the move up and all of that, of course, so we don't go back into debt. But that's exactly how that you move from intensity to intentionality at that point. Tyler is in Pennsylvania starting this hour. Hey, Tyler, what's up?
Hey, guys. How we doing today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
All right. So I'm looking to get some advice. I'm currently making around $40,000 a year, and I don't know what my next move should be. I pay around $900 for rent, and I have one kid now and another kid coming in around this week. We're due on the 25th.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My wife is a stay-at-home mom, and so, we're kind of just working with my income right now. I have around $5,000 in savings. I have my 401k. I have stock. I'm trying to see what I can do, and, I just need some guidance in what my next step should be in housing.
You're doing very well. Congratulations. How old are you?
Thank you. 19.
Dang, man.
Wow. What do you do for a living?
So I do like sales and food service. It's kind of both. It's kind of like a convenience store, but it's a better growth convenience store, if that makes sense.
And you're having baby number 2 at 19.
Yes.
Dude, my mom gave me a talking to at 19 before I got a dog. She's like, I don't think you're ready for this. You are in it, brother.
So how old were you when you had the
Yes, I
first
am.
one?
I was 17.
Wow.
You're just getting after it, huh?
Yeah.
So your hands are full. Okay. So what is your 35-year-old you going to be doing for a career?
Oh, man. I have dreams of kind of being retired, and, I look to you, Dave, as, a huge mentor, as I'm a new listener.
I don't want you to be
I wanna see
retired
my-
at 35. I want you to be making $2 million a year. What is it you're going to be doing?
I don't really know yet. I'm working for a good company. I get, and there's an ESOP program. I get a good 401k. I'm looking to get into real estate at some point. I'm also really interested into stocks. I have a lot of options due to me being young, but, I don't really have a set journey yet.
Okay. Well, yeah, you've in one sense you're 19 and you shouldn't have all this figured out. In another sense, you're making $40,000 and have 2 kids, so you got to start figuring it out. You know, because here's the thing: you're going to hit what you aim at, and if you aim at nothing, you will hit it every time.
Right.
And the chances of you opening your eyes at 27, making $40,000 with the same company are strong to quite strong if you're not headed somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And so the
Right.
way we solve your rent problem is, in the short term, you have to be very careful and manage and pick out a good property and just kind of deal with life with 2 kids and super young marriage and all that. And you'll laugh about these days later on and go, back in our 23, we were starving to death. But but for right now, it's just a pain in the butt. And but the way you overcome this is you are aiming at something further down the road, and that will have. So let's just pretend. Let's pretend that over the next few months or even years, you decide you want to be doing something, and you just give it a name, whatever the thing is, and you're going to be, doing real estate, and I'm going to be making $100,000 a year when I'm 30 years old. Okay. Once you start saying that a lot, and start to believe it and start to study what you have to do to make that come true, what must be true that is not true today for me to be there, then immediately you start moving off of the 40 and start moving up, which starts to solve some of the immediate problems as well. And so that's why I'm asking you all of that instead of answering your $900 rent question, because truthfully, it's not going to be easy to rent a property and feed 2 kids on $40,000.
Right.
You can do it, but you don't want to do that for a decade. Doing it for 10 months while we're heading to something else, and I'm not teaching you to be dissatisfied with your job. I'm just saying, even if it's inside this company, we need to start talking about talking to the supervisors and the managers. What value can I add to this organization so that I can move up? Because I got 2 little babies I got to feed, and I'm trying to be ambitious and wise beyond my years. And show me how to do that. And when you start talking that and thinking that and being that and identifying that that's who you are, that's when the income's going to start to change. That's why you hear people calling this show, Tyler, that almost every single debt-free scream during the time they were getting out of debt increased their income. Now, some of them just did it. They took an extra job to pay off debt. But some of them walked into the boss's office and said, what can I do to add value? And the boss goes, well, you know what? I haven't given you a raise in a while. Here's another 20 grand. And ding, ding. It's just stuff like that happens all the time. But it's because you're paying attention to it.
And there's something magical about sitting down with a supervisor, or maybe not even your supervisor, but somebody one step ahead of you, and saying, hey, can I buy you some cup of coffee? Like, walk me through your arc here. When did you start here? How'd you get to this role? People love to tell their story, and you're going to pick up a lot of wisdom along the way about how your group operates, how the groups around you operate. Hang on the line here, and Jenna will get your information. We'll send you a copy of Ken's book, From Paycheck to Purpose, that just walks you through that process. But start thinking and dreaming big.
In the meantime, keep your rent low.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
grind it out.
Manage your budget. And live like no one else so that later you can live and give like no one else. In the meantime, you're going to live in a place that you don't want to live in for very long. But you'll live there for a little while. I did when I was your age.
I did too.
And it's not to say that it's mandatory to do that, but it's just to say that there's no shame in that. I'm okay if you could live in a really wonderful place because you were making $200,000 a year. That wouldn't make me mad at all either. It's not required that you have hard times, but you are square in the middle of something. So you might as well get the getting. Might as well get what's there to get.
And good for you, man.
And you're just a stud, man. I mean,
unbelievable.
My gosh. I'm not sure I could have dialed the number to call this show.
No. When I was 19, the number of 19-year-olds I've worked at that can't figure out where the intramural office is. Good grief. Trying to check out some ping pong paddles, and I can't find oh my gosh. And this guy's having a second kid. It's amazing.
Well, it'll grow you up, I can tell you that, and obviously is. He's wise beyond his years. You're a good young man. You call us anytime we can help. Yeah, hold on.
Proud of you, man.
Jen will pick up and give you a copy of Coleman's book, and we'll move you on to the next
Fantastic.
move.
Really cool.
Wow. This is the day that I feel old. The 19-year-old.
This is the day, huh?
The 20. Well, shut up.
This
but the
is
21.
The day, huh?
Yeah, just caught up just today, suddenly.
All right, Clara is up in Louisville, Kentucky. Clara, how can we help?
Hey, guys. I am thrilled to be able to talk to you guys.
Well, we are thrilled to talk to you.
question.
What's happening?
Yay. I have a question more for Jade, my money girl.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I'm gonna smoke a cig while you guys talk. This will be great.
Okay. We are looking at buying a house next year. And we want to know if we're crazy or if we're rushing into it, or if our numbers are looking okay and what order we need to do things.
Okay.
So
tell me more.
right now we have $6,200 on a credit card,
Okay.
$7,000 on a truck, and then a $20,000 home equity line of credit.
Okay.
Within the past, since August, we've paid off $34,000 in credit card debt.
Good.
So we're on a roll. And my goal is to have the credit card and the truck paid off by March.
Okay.
And then I didn't know, do I not pay on the home? Well, I pay the minimum payment on the home equity line of credit and do our 3 to 6 months emergency savings. And then when we sell our house, pay that off and still have 20% to put down on the new house.
I'd pay it off.
Or
I'd work to pay it off for two
Okay.
reasons. A, it's less than half of the value of your home, I'm guessing. Like it's less than half.
Yes. Yeah, we owe $124 on our house, and we could sell it for $230.
Yeah, because it's less than half of that 124. I'd go ahead and pay it off. And here's the thing: if you don't pay it off, it's going to cut into your winnings, right? When you sell the house.
Right.
So you may as well pay it off so that money goes right back into your pocket. Again, it's that idea of you're forcing yourself to save the money by paying off this $20,000. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So you're going to get it back.
We still need the 3 to 6 months before we buy, or can we take that out of the what we make on the house?
Again, it's what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but you need to get the 3 to 6 months in place first. And then when you sell the house, that money is going towards the next house.
Okay.
Right.
So just that whole chunk goes straight towards the next house.
Because you're going to need it, right? Well, how much are you trying to put down?
Well, we would only need about $70,000 to put down. The house we're looking at is around $300,000.
And how much, sorry, you told me this, but I missed it. When you sell the house, how much will it bring in total?
$230,000.
No. How much will you take home?
We should have about $110,000.
$110,000. So you're saying, and that's after fee. Is that after fees? And you've considered all that?
No, that's before.
Okay, so let's consider fees and let's knock off 15. All right, and let's say that you bring home 95. So you're saying, hey, we never plan to put that full 95 down, and we can take some of that and put it as our emergency fund.
Right.
Well, what would
still have the 20%?
Listen, the way my mind works, I'm like, I want to put the full 95% down, or the full 95,000 down.
90. Okay.
How long will it take you to save up 3 to 6 months?
Maybe 2 months.
I would listen. Listen. Save up that 3 to 6 months. It's all the same. You know what I'm saying? It's a big pool of money, and I see what you're trying to do. You're kind of trying to shift it so you can move faster. I would rather you have that extra $15,000 to put down on this mortgage. It's
okay.
In the long run, you're going to thank yourself for it. And it's not like, it'd be one thing if you said, Jade, it's going to take us 6 more months to save up, or another year to save up. That'd be maybe a little different. I might change my answer, maybe not. But in this case, it's 2 months. Like, just wait 2 months.
Right.
And then you've got more money. You've got $15,000 more in your pocket, and that's going to go towards your mortgage. I love that idea.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's
There you go.
my problem.
Clara,
great job.
Did you get what you needed from Jade? Do you need anything from me at all?
Did.
I mean, anything? Nothing?
Your cigarette's gone out.
No, I don't think I do.
Oh, great. I see how this is, Clara.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
I see how this is. No, we love you, Clara. Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. She didn't want to ask me anything.
Listen, Ken, in that sweater?
I get it. I know. I think it's intimidating. It puts off the wrong vibe, I guess.
It's very
Alex.
intimidating.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
What's going on, Dana?
Hi. So I am 29 years old, and I've been planning to purchase a home, but I'm planning to purchase it with my brother. So is it a smart idea to have my brother as a co-owner of the property? I mean, majority of the down payment is going to come from me, and so is mortgage.
Yeah, no. Nope. How old did you say you were?
I'm 29.
29.
29, okay.
Why can I understand why are you guys doing this together? What's the purpose in your mind?
We've been living together for 3 years, and we've been planning to purchase a property
but why?
Together as well.
Why is my question?
Because we're like both single, and we don't know, like, we wanted to stop renting and we wanted to have like our own property.
So this is your way. Point. You felt like you couldn't afford it separately, so you're doing it together. Is that accurate?
Yes, I think. I mean, personally, with the current housing market, I don't think I can afford like the monthly mortgage.
Well, let's look at it. What do you make every month? What's your take home pay?
I make around every month.
Yeah.
Yeah, around $6,200.
$6,200?
Yes.
That's your take home pay. Okay. So what type of home are you trying to buy? Like when you say, here's what I need, and you're realistic about what your needs are and you're not going overboard, what does a home like that cost you in Los Angeles? Because I know it's going to be expensive.
Yeah. Since I'm single, like maybe like a condo or a townhouse, like with like like a single bedroom. Like I'm just like living alone.
Sure, that's fair enough. What would that cost you in the area that you live? Or in the area you're trying to be?
Looking, it's around like 450 to 550. I think 450 to 600.
Okay, so 450 to 600. That's a big range. And then my next question is, what kind of work do you do?
I work as a lab scientist in a hospital.
A lab scientist. Okay. Thanks for giving me the particulars. I don't think that you should, like John said, I don't think that you should buy a home with your brother. There's a lot that can go wrong there. It would be different if one of you were purchasing the home and one of you put the down payment on and said, hey, if you want to live here and pay me rent or pay for your room here, you could do that.
I'm okay with doing that. Yeah,
that's fine. The hard part comes when you're dating somebody and you're ready for them to move out, and now they feel like they got the raw end of the deal. Like there are many things that can go wrong, and I just want to call that out. So
and there's one other thing: when you're married, and you get divorced, there's a legal path towards separation. That's why reason we tell people don't buy a house with your boyfriend or girlfriend, because the separation isn't so clean. It's a mess. And similarly, if you and your brother just go in as brother and sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, just two people, the separation part is going to be a disaster. Not to mention, are you seriously, sis? You're going to make me pay you back for your down payment?
Right.
Well, yeah. Are you kidding me? I'm your brother. You don't love me? Well, yeah. Or vice versa, right? And so, or he's gonna start dating someone and bringing them to your house, and she's not gonna like the way you cook. And dude, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't. And here's the greatest way you can love each other is to not go into a legally binding agreement together. See what I'm saying?
Right.
One of you buy the house and rent a room to the other one. I'm fine with that.
And do it right. Like, even when you do the way John said, do a lease. Like, is it a year lease? Let's just start with a year-to-year thing, right? And do it by the book, so that at the end of the day, if the hammer has to come down, it's not you doing it, it's the lease, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, the lease is up. We did say, and you can always point back to the terms of what you guys agreed on. I'm not going to lie. I still don't love it, but it's your life. If you want to live with your brother, I'm not mad at it. I just went into it, man. That's all I can say. At the end of the day, here's also where I stand, though, with purchasing a house. There is a piece of this, whether it was, let's say you didn't have a brother, and let's just say you were calling and your hope was to get a roommate to live in the house. It bothers me for somebody to own a home that they can't pay for in full on their own. Because like I said, something can happen and whoever's living with you moves out, and it could take you a longer period of time than you thought it would to find a replacement. And so now you've got to be able to cover the mortgage. Do you see what I'm saying? So my goal here is to get you thinking about every angle of this thing. And just with me poking a few holes, I don't love it. Like, I want you to have a condo. I want you to have a home. I want you to not be a renter, but I want it to be done in the right way. My question for you next is, what would it look like? And this is just for you to brainstorm. You don't have to answer this now. Where you live is really expensive. Right. What does it look like for you to do the same type of work elsewhere?
I can move, I guess, but I feel like my current job right now is really good, like benefits-wise.
It is, but it's not allowing you to live. You want a home,
right?
And it's not allowing you to do that. Look, I have family who lived in California for years, and they're married. And at one point, they said she's a teacher, and the other one, works in gaming. And they said, we're never going to have the life we want here. And they picked up and moved to Georgia.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, you may have to consider.
Our hospitals need lab scientists in Kansas City.
Right.
Where you can buy a condo maybe for $300 instead of $600, or maybe $350 instead of what? And I don't know. Kansas people are gonna be like, you can't. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But all to say is, you have to decide which dream we want.
Which dream? That's so true, John. Ooh, that's a hard one. But she's got some options. She's just got to allow herself to see the options.
Create your free every dollar budget today. The simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Nilo's with us in Las Vegas. Hi, Nilo. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Better than we deserve. We're goofballs. What's up?
So I'm almost close to paying off my debt. I got a couple of thousand, like $4,500.
Good for you.
So I don't have any hard debt. I don't have a car payment. I don't have a house. It's just loans and stuff I need to pay off. So right now in Las Vegas, the housing is ridiculous. I want to buy a house. That's my goal. As soon as I get off debt, I want to plan for my future. So the way the market is just so bad right now. So I was trying to talk to my girlfriend. I think it's a good idea for us just to invest into a trailer home, like not an old RV on wheels you pull with a pickup, but like a good stationary mobile home. I've been looking in the market. There's some for like $20,000, $30,000.
So if you buy a $20,000 mobile home in 5 years, what do you think that's worth?
I know it's going to depreciate.
So why is that an investment? Investments are supposed to go up, Nilo.
Right. I guess it's not an investment.
So if you turn $20,000 into $10,000, how's that help you get a house?
Well, because I was thinking if I could pay it off quick enough, I'll be able to live there long enough so I could save a good chunk down payment to get my forever home.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, run that math out for us. If I pay it off quick enough, I'll be able to save money. So you would be adding debt, and you're almost done.
You're going to turn $20,000 into $10,000 so that you can have a little bit of time with no payments.
Mm-hmm.
That's not working, dude, mathematically.
Okay.
So I appreciate your thought pattern, but yeah, it's what I love is your motivation. I want to be in the game. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I love that about you.
What's your income? What are you doing?
I'm a union carpenter. I make $42 an hour.
Woo! Come on.
So last year, but I mean, it's off and on. Sometimes I'll work a good solid 8 months, and then I have like 2 months off. Last year I did about $70K.
Hey, Nilo, listen to me.
If you're making $70K, why aren't you saving money?
Yeah.
Well, I've been trying to pay off debt. I've been trying to.
Oh, that's true. You got the $4,500. How much debt have you paid off, and how long?
I paid off about 15. My main debt was I bought a brand
15
new car.
And how long? How long did it take you to pay off 15?
15. It took me about a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Why? You make 70.
Right.
What are you doing?
I guess it's not being smarter with my money.
Well, you're also not working. You're not working 12 months. You're working 8 months. Can I just tell you something? I want to challenge you, Nilo. Listen to me.
Yeah, because construction is off and on.
Yeah, listen. Hold on a second. I want to challenge you. Okay. So you need more money right now. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, you do. You need more money to get out of debt, more money to get an emergency fund, more money to save for a house. Now, listen to me. There is a shortage of carpenters in the United States. So if you can't get some work related to being a carpenter and you're a good one, you're making really good money. If you can't get that in Vegas, which I'm challenging you on that.
Oh, he can't. He just can't get union work.
I get it. But my point is what else can you do outside of union work?
Hey, if they're not working you, you can work outside the union, can't you?
Yeah.
Yes,
I
he
do.
can.
I have a non-union company. They my rate goes down significantly. I get paid only 23 over there.
Oh,
So
darn.
every time there's shorter work,
That's better than
they're
zero
able to
4
put me
months
on.
a year.
Yeah, and not to mention,
Right.
let's just talk about my father-in-law is 72 years of age, and he is busier than he's ever been in his life in a neighborhood here in Williamson County doing reno stuff. There's all kinds of money in Vegas. You should be making huge money 12 months a year. That's my challenge. to you.
How old are you again?
I'm 24.
Okay, cool. Well, listen, you have the ability. The good news is you have a desire and an ambition. That's good news.
Yep.
The good news is you've already been working to get out of debt. That's the good news. The other good news is you ain't afraid of hard work and you know how to make some money. I think you can dial this in and make a whole lot more. I believe you guys, if you're really careful, could double your income.
Right.
But you're going to have to really focus on it to get there. And then you got to quit partying. You are drinking a lot.
Eating out, so I'm not oblivious. I know what I'm.
You're drinking all weekend, man. I mean, you're going every happy hour.
Maybe
You-
be
you-
hitting
you-
the blackjack table.
Somewhere the money's going because
Yeah.
there is no excuse for the kind of money you're making and you got nothing.
Yeah.
It's party time.
Stay out of the
So,
MGM.
yeah, you're going to have to work on some stuff here, man. And you do that, all of a sudden the money's just going to like start showing up because you're going to quit blowing it all.
Yes.
But, I mean, you're running around with the wrong crowd. You're running around with broke people on the weekend, and they're helping you join them. So I could be wrong, but I've been there myself, so I might know something.
Yep.
It's how you lose your hair. I'll just tell you ahead of time. But
That's what
so
happened.
that's what happened. Who knew? Yeah. So anyway, yeah. There's a correlation between the quality of your personal habits in your life and your ability to build wealth.
That's right.
So you do those things. So you
me
and your
tell you
girlfriend clean up your act and start focusing on your goals and your career goals and your income goals, and then you're going to be able to build up a down payment in 24 months and buy a house.
That's right.
Without the girlfriend, unless she's your wife, by the way. Never buy a house with somebody you're not married to, and please don't buy a trailer that goes down in value. Get control of the guy in your mirror, buddy. And you do that, you're going to win. You got a lot of potential. You're a good man.
Yes.
Hold on, we're going to put you through Financial Peace University, our class on how to handle money. We're going to show you how to do this, and you call us back someday and tell us how you're winning, because I jumped on your case. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
A lot of financial advice out there, especially when it comes to crypto. A lot of FOMO. A lot of people trying to get in on the next big coin. And so I thought we would watch a video together and just see how you react to it, John. You ready for this?
I am. People getting nutritional advice and mental health advice and now money advice from teenagers on the TikToks. That's congratulations, America. We've done it. Roll the clip.
Everyone
Let's do
gets a
it.
platform. Okay.
Everybody gets. That's right.
Let's see what we got here. Remember, John, your mic is hot, so choose your words.
Here's what would have happened had you invested your $1,200 stimulus check that was first issued on April 12, 2020 into these top 10 most popular cryptocurrencies. $1,200 investment into Bitcoin today would now be worth $7,538. $1,200 investment into Ethereum would be worth $22,929. Into ADA would now be worth $76,363. Into BNB would now be worth $28,720. $1,200 investment into XRP would now be worth $5,873. Into Solana would be worth a whopping $210,389. Into Chainlink would be worth $8,544.
I think
Into
he's just making them
Dogecoin
up.
would be worth $126,000. Into Litecoin would be $4,595. And a $1,200 investment into Terra Luna would now be worth $180,000.
Well, George, my
There we
hemorrhoids
go.
are back.
There they
Hemorrhoids
are.
are back.
They're back, John. Wow.
You know what else is cool? If I had not gone to Taco Bell yesterday, I wouldn't have indigestion.
Is that how that works?
You know what he didn't play? He didn't play the other 10. Gosh, dude.
So let's just recap what just happened, John. First of all, I think he made up about 17 words in there. How do people just keep up, man? And here's the other thing. Hindsight is 20/20. John, you're an idiot. If you invested in Apple in 1984, just $100, you'd be a millionaire by now.
Did you know if you'd gotten off your horse in 1806 and put some money in Ford shares, you'd be a gajillionaire?
So, John, I was just in Vegas, and I put 16 black, and I went all in on it. I won big. You should also put 16 on black next time you go.
Yeah,
because that's the winning number.
This is such a terrible use of statistics. Everybody, jeez.
I don't know if we can call it statistics. I think professors all over are angry right now.
Well, it's just this. It's this. Oh, man.
You got John all breathy, America.
You do have me
Look
all
what
breathy
you did.
Because I hate the manipulation of data to, A, make people feel dumb for choices they could have made. And I'm even going to go with should have, because we actually have real data of what these things are worth today.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Hold on a
Producer
second.
James pulled that
I
for
can't
us.
stand it when people say, well, if you had of, so you should. Because there is zero, none, zilch correlation, right? And it left out 10,000 other crypto, like whatever, cartoons drawn with some kid's laptop. It left all that out who people lost their minds, right? So you take a narrow snapshot of those things, and it makes you feel stupid and left out, and then that's going to encourage people to go make some reckless choices with their money. And it's that kind of nonsense hurts people. It's not helpful.
No.
It's not helpful.
Not at all. It just gets you, it makes you feel more
I told
FOMO.
you so.
You go, I missed out. I missed out again on the next big thing.
Right.
And as we know, timing the market is the most dangerous thing you can do. And we say it's not about time in the market. It's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market. It's about consistency over time. When it's up, when it's down, you're consistent. You're investing in things that have a stable, long, proven track record. That's why we recommend mutual funds over the next meme coin that just came out. So producer James pulled up using the same logic, pulled up some interesting stats here. If you had invested $1,200 into Ethereum in November 2021, as of January, you would have $840. There goes $400 right there. If you invested $1,200 into Bitcoin in early November 2021, as of mid-January, you would have $660.
Congratulations.
Just lost half your money. Way
Golf
to go.
clap, America.
If you invested $1,200 into Dogecoin in May of 2021, as of January, you would have $360 instead of $1,200. And I know this for a fact, John, and here's why. When we were doing the episode on cryptocurrency on the Fine Print podcast, which you can go listen to wherever you
Middle
listen to podcasts.
school boys everywhere were angry with you.
They're very upset with me. Here's what I did. I had to know the experience of what it's like to actually invest in something. So I didn't spend more than I was willing to lose. I put $40 into Dogecoin. It was 40 cents at the time, so I got 100 Dogecoin, and I went, all right, let me just see the experience. Number one, it's traded 24/7. So I can be up at 3 a.m. watching it zing up and down like a roller coaster, going, oh, there goes my money. Oh, I made $1. Oh, I lost $5. This is very stressful. So then we wonder why there's rampant anxiety in
It's
society.
like following your wife around and be like, you like me? Do you like me now? Do you like me now?
How about now? So that was one piece of it. But that $40, can I tell you what it is today, John?
According to that dude on the TikToks, it's worth $111 million.
It's worth $14. That $40 turned into $14.
Just ride the wave,
And
George.
this was before Elon Musk was saying, hey, Doge to the moon, and he went on SNL, and everyone thought, this is our chance to get rich quick. And Doge crashed after he went on SNL and mentioned Dogecoin. So, don't let billionaires dictate how your investments do.
Hold on.
With one thing they said on SNL.
I'll even give billionaires. Like, I think that's a good, like, how'd you, if I see somebody who's in great shape, I might ask them, hey, what are some things you do in your life that put you into great shape? And I got to filter that through my life and my body and my blood types and my experience and blah, blah. Who I'm not going to ask is some nameless hand on the TikToks. I don't know who that is. I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know who that guy is. I'm not going to say, you're right, I screwed up. Because I don't even know if that data's true. I don't know if that's accurate. It's certainly not accurate right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gosh, those things.
And generally, if you're telling someone to invest in a certain coin, it's because you invested in that coin, and if they invest, then you make more money. It's like a multi-level marketing scheme.
Especially, I think I'm glad you brought that up, and this is me being totally serious. If somebody who's a billionaire comes out on a platform, and I'm not saying they're evil guys, but they come out and say, here's where I'm putting my money. They know that a bunch of people will rush out and put their money there, which props up the price, and they can get out. And they've got 1 million followers or 10 million followers or 100 million followers. And so if you are trying to, it's like this. How often have we not you. I'll say me.
Thank you, John.
How often have I watched a pro athlete documentary and I look at their workouts and I'm like, that's what I'm doing tomorrow, and I'll start watching their the weights they're lifting and squatting, and I'll think, all right, I need to up my game. No, they play for a professional team. This is their job. Mine is to run my mouth on the radio, right? I shouldn't be lifting like a pro athlete.
Yeah.
Following the dollar amounts and the scale that some of these folks are investing in, if that thing goes down, you know what they still have? $1 billion. You know what you have? 14.
That was your whole life savings while you're strapped with payments.
So they
don't
can
do
drag
this.
you into this thing, prop their thing up, and get out. And it's a much different game they're playing, even though the process looks the same.
Yeah.
So, man, don't make choices with your life.
And
off
don't
TikTok.
invest in things that you don't understand. And I'll tell you, John, I've done a lot of research on crypto and NFTs. And the more I research it, the dumber I think I'm getting. I'm like, maybe I'm just not a smart person because this is so complicated, which makes me think maybe it's not designed to actually make me rich.
It's designed to help other people get rich and then get out.
So there's your little pro tip for the day on cryptocurrency. If you want to learn more about this stuff, we did a whole episode on the fine print, all about the hidden truths that are keeping people broke. It's called Could Bitcoin Be Your Ticket to Wealth? And if you want to join us, we are going to be going to Orlando with a Building Wealth event where we show you the right way to build wealth. So you can check all of that out at RamseySolutions.com.
Thank you for making me dumber today, George.
You're welcome. It wasn't hard. I don't know what that says about you.
It's a low bar.
Paul's in New York City. Hi, Paul. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave and John. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I just finished the Total Money Makeover, and my rent's over 50% of my take-home pay. I'm a single dad that just went through a really long and expensive divorce, and I'm just trying to figure out how to get my situation under control.
Wow. Sorry. That's horrible. Well, I mean, can we agree that 50% of your take-home pay is not mathematically sustainable?
Yes, absolutely. And the hard part is I have a 2-bedroom apartment so that my son has space, and my rent is relatively affordable for Brooklyn,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. I don't doubt that. I mean, you live in one of the most expensive real estate markets in the world.
Yeah.
So that I don't doubt that. But obviously you don't make enough money to live there.
Yeah.
So one of the two things, if you want to have a sustainable life and not end up with, substantial financial damage to your life, or you struggle and have stress, you're going to either increase your income in the next months or even year dramatically, or you're going to move.
Well, the situation becomes even more complicated when so I have split custody of my son, and in our agreement, his school is already set to stay in Brooklyn for the next 4 years, and then we would have to work out where high school is, which would most likely stay in the city. And I live in the neighborhood where his school is, and I already commute an hour into my job in Manhattan.
Was your divorce, was it amicable? Did y'all sit down and shake hands, or was it a mess?
It was a mess.
Okay.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a photographer.
Okay. You're going to change careers or you're going to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, dude, I mean, regardless of the constraints that you and your ex-wife and the courts have put on you, none of you get a pass on math because we decided these things. Math is still going to kick your butt.
Yeah.
And I would love to just wave a wand and make this all okay. My magic wand's low on batteries. So something is going to change. And you're either going to change it or it's going to be changed for you. Because this is not sustainable. Bad things are going to happen and force you out of this situation. And you're just not able to be there. It's that simple. Good things are going to happen, and you find a different housing arrangement. You find and more income to be able to sustain this. But it's just, It's not like a Dave rule, and it's not like, well, here's the best thing you can do. This is, you simply cannot survive doing this long term. I mean, you can survive for a few months or maybe a year, but you've got to have a plan to develop a life that works. And this doesn't work. This is going to lead to homelessness.
And that's at the end of this line. This just becomes a mess. It's because you've created an unsustainable. You created a very anxious life. I'm just thinking about this little boy that comes home, and half of his life comes home to a exhausted, stressed out dad who's trying to figure out how to give his kid this magical life, like you mentioned, that math doesn't apply to, that can barely afford rent, that can barely afford groceries. And that's a kid constantly coming home to a tense home, to an anxious home. And that means we got to change that whole thing, because this whole thing's going to end in ash, but you're also going to end with a frazzled, exhausted kid who feels responsible for making sure dad's okay, and that's not your kid's job. And so, man, I think now you're going to start looking to take pictures in the evenings and on weekends and at big wedding events, and you're going to have to find yourself a job where you're going to make way more money.
Yeah, something's going to give. So I always suggest, if we're going to have pain, let's choose the pain instead of letting it choose us.
Yes, every time.
And there's 100% of the situation that's going to have pain. So choose the pain. The pain is a career change, an adjustment to what type of photography you do or when you do it. The pain is moving. The pain is a different housing situation within the constraints of the neighborhood, which is probably very difficult. But there's something is going to give. You can't just sit here and go, in the name of all that is noble and good for my child, I'm going to pretend like this isn't happening, because it's going to happen to you. You cannot sustain this situation. It's just that simple, and it's not me. That's just 30 years of coaching people and counseling with people that are in trouble. And dude, you're trouble looking for a place to happen right now.
And we talked about this in an earlier segment. Let's don't forget, you have the opportunity to teach your son over a 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 year period what it looks like to change midstream, to get that grit and resilience we were talking about in that earlier segment, to develop new skills and new strength, and see his dad go back to school, and see his dad get qualified for a new job, see his dad do all these really hard, gritty things for his son and for the sake of his family tree moving forward. It's not going to be pleasant at the time, but man, you're giving your kid a gift.
Yeah, you've got to get this situation healthy, because I will give you, unless your ex-wife is an anomaly, she's also facing the same thing you're facing. Unless she's like, a heart surgeon or something, and in Manhattan, making $500K, she's probably also facing the same thing. So she could be an anomaly, but if she's trying to do, it could be you all had two average to below average incomes when combined made it work in the city, but split up, both of you are screwed. That may be where you are. And so your kid may be going from one stressed house to another stressed house, to John's point. Likely is. I don't know. I don't know your ex's situation, but, and I'm not going to get into that. That doesn't matter. But I'm just saying there's a high probability that's going on too. So she doesn't get a pass on math just because she's pissed at you either. Math catches up with you. It works in New York, it works in California, it works in Abilene, it works in Tulsa, and it works in Nashville. And it always works the same, because it's math. And you just cannot run from it. And it's not a Dave thing, it's not a Ramsey thing, it's not a hateful thing, it's not a racist thing. It's just math.
When we live in a culture that says, follow your passion and follow your dreams, well, my dream is to be a photographer in Manhattan. Like, I'm going to go to the epicenter of all that is fashion and all that is high society, and I'm going to be a photographer. I'm going to capture and be an artist. And then all of a sudden, you get divorced, and rent doesn't care what your dreams are. Rent just cares what the dollar amount is.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm heartbroken for you, man.
I'm sorry you're facing this. It's hard. Yeah. And I'm not belittling how painful this is. I'm just begging you to choose your pain, because of all the other pain you've been through, and in the name of creating a fantasy land for your child, sometimes people don't choose the pain, and it will choose you if you don't choose it. So pick your poison. What's it going to be? Something's going to move. And I strongly suggest to you, my friend, that you do the moving instead of the moving being done on you. Because not acting is going to bring this to your doorstep. Now, I'm often asked here on the air about reverse mortgages, and 100% of the time, I've told people to not do reverse mortgages. Good article in the Washington Post over the weekend, and I tweeted out the link over the weekend. A guy tweeted it to me, actually, is where I found it, and I sent it back out. And listen to this. As she was getting on in years, her resources dwindled. Virginia Rayford took out a special kind of mortgage in 2008 that she hoped would help her stay in her 3-bedroom Washington row house for the rest of her life. Rayford, 92, took advantage of a federally insured loan called a reverse mortgage that allows cash-strapped seniors to borrow against the equity in their house that is built up over decades. But the risks of the financial arrangement are stark, and today the frail widow finds herself facing foreclosure. Under the terms of the loan, Rayford can defer paying back her mortgage debt that totals about $416,000 until she dies, sells, or moves out. She is, however, responsible for keeping up with the other charges, namely the taxes and insurance on the property. The loan servicer, Nation Star Mortgage, says Rayford owes $6,004 in unpaid taxes and insurance, and if she cannot come up with it, she stands to lose her home in Washington's Petworth neighborhood. I've cried a million nights wondering about what I'm going to do, Rayford, again, she's 92 years old, said. Across the nation, an increasing number of seniors are facing foreclosure after taking out reverse mortgages, either because they fell behind on property charges or failed to meet other requirements of the complex mortgage loans, according to the federal data and interviews with consumer and housing specialists. The Federal Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, which insures most reverse mortgages in the country, says it lacks detailed data on how many homeowners have lost their homes or facing foreclosure in the program. Which, by the way, is a lie. They don't lack details on it. Which was launched in 1989 and covers about 636,000 loans. And Nation Star, the lender on this case, declined for comment. No kidding. But a HUD report issued, HUD, who doesn't have detailed data, issued a report that found that nearly 90,000 reverse mortgages held by seniors were at least 12 months behind in payment and taxes and insurance and were expected to end in, quote, involuntary termination. I don't think I want to be involuntarily terminated on anything. That's federal bureaucrat speak for we're going to shoot you in the face. Involuntary termination. Oh, my God, that's a scary phrase. In 2017. That's more than double the year before. Well, let me help you with this, folks. Okay, let me walk you through some numbers. There's 636,000 of these loans out there. 90,000 of them are in default, headed to foreclosure. That's 14% of the loans are failing. That's astro-freaking-nomical. Unbelievable 14% failure rate. Still, he said, reverse mortgages are a critical resource for seniors who wish to access their accumulated home equity and age in place. Thank you for the HUD spokesman for figuring this out. They have a completely failed loan program that is causing senior adults to lose their homes at an unbelievable record. But his answer is, it's a critical resource for seniors who wish to access their accumulated home equity and age in place. You sound like a lobbyist, dude. You don't sound like somebody that can add. Before 2015, the only thing homeowners ages 62 and older needed to qualify for a reverse mortgage was equity in their home. Lenders weren't required to determine whether they could afford to maintain their homes or cover the taxes and insurance payments in the future. Since homeowners used the funds to pay off the original mortgages or ran out of money after covering living expenses over many years, now HUD requires all borrowers to undergo a financial assessment. Wow! Before we give a mortgage, we actually do a financial assessment. You guys are rocket scientists. Unbelievable. Listen to this. Tens of thousands of troubled loans remain. More than 18% of reverse mortgage loans. Remember, earlier figure was 14 currently? More than 18% of reverse mortgage loans taken out from 09 to 2016 are expected to go into default because of, that's 1 in 5, because of unpaid taxes and insurance, according to a HUD report. That compares with less than 3% of federally insured loans in the traditional mortgage market. So your typical FHA loan, about 3% of them go bad. 18% of these reverse mortgages are going bad. I told you these things sucked. Representatives of the National Reverse Mortgage Lenders Association declined for comment. Well, I would too. I'd run for the hills and hide behind the biggest bush I could find. Advocates of the loan, including celebrity spokesmen such as Tom Selleck and Henry Winkler, say reverse mortgages can help seniors enjoy their later years. No, they don't really say that. They read a script. Borrowers can receive, listen, here's the terms of reverse mortgage, in case you didn't know. Borrowers can receive 50% to 66% of the value of their equity, depending on their age and interest rate, and the interest rate generally set about 5%. Now, why do I tell you not to get reverse mortgages? Because you're going to lose your home potentially, because you get into all kinds of problems, and because the interest rates and the fees are a really bad ripoff. You ever heard me say that before? Okay, so let's hear what they just said. Interest rates are generally set about 5%. Do you know what the going rate on a 15-year fixed is today? A traditional mortgage, a HUD mortgage. Do you think it's 5%? Anybody out there? You think it's 5%? I get a report every morning. I'll tell you what it was this morning. 3 1/8. So you're paying almost double, you old people that are getting ripped off. Thank you, Tom Selleck and Henry Winkler. We appreciate your endorsement. You get the opportunity to pay double and potentially lose your house when you're 92. This is a dadgum mess, people. Unbelievable. For example, a 73-year-old with a home worth $100,000 and no current mortgage could receive a loan or a lump sum of monthly installments up to a line of credit for up to $57,900, not including closing costs, according to HUD. So you could take your $100,000 house and get $60,000 out of it and potentially lose it. Is anybody listening to this? Unbelievable. The Federal Consumer Finance Protection Bureau has long warned about deceptive advertising and reverse mortgages. In December, the federal agency fined 3 companies, American Advisors Group, Reverse Mortgage Solutions, and Aegean Financial, for alleged false claims, saying they told seniors with reverse mortgages that they would not have to make monthly payments or face foreclosure, omitting the risks of failing to pay property charges. These companies tricked consumers into believing they could not lose their homes with a reverse mortgage, said the Bureau director. The companies did not admit wrongdoing in settlements that required that they pay $790,000 in fees. One of the companies was American Advisors Group, which is where Tom Selleck says he speaks on behalf of them. Many older Americans are in a tough spot right now. Why not use a reverse mortgage to make sure you completely lose your home? Oh, no, that wasn't what he said. I put words in his mouth. Excuse me. Hey, guys, telling you for years, reverse mortgages suck. There's all your details. Interest rates are double. The foreclosure rates are 8-fold. This is ridiculous. Answers the question. Run! This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I currently live with my boyfriend at his parents' house. We've lived here for about 2 years.
Ooh.
And we are getting engaged this year, and we're wanting out. Obviously, we don't want to be engaged or even married living here. We've been doing the Snowball effect for a little bit, but it's still in the process.
How old are you?
I am 23.
Okay. All right. Because your sweet little voice, you sound like you're 12. I wasn't sure. Okay.
Well, thank you.
That's okay. So we don't have debt because we aren't married. Who has debt? You or him?
I have just debt from my car. It's about for me to completely pay it off. It's about $27,000. He has debt from his vehicle and debt from credit card bills from starting his business.
And are you both working?
We are, yes.
How much do you make?
Yeah, what do y'all make?
I make $30,000. I work at a bank that I'm interviewing to move up, so hopefully making more soon. And it fluctuates with him just because he owns a contracting business, but it's normally, I would say, a year like $60,000 to $70,000.
So why are you guys living? I mean,
why aren't you married, making $100,000 a year at 23 and pay these debts off?
We haven't gotten married yet, just because everybody around us have told us that we're kind of young, so to wait.
What? Okay.
Well, you're acting like you're
I was
married,
going to say,
so what
tell
are we
me,
waiting on?
what's the difference in your mind?
Yeah.
Because
The
your
difference
actions
between,
aren't
like, being
showing
married and
difference.
not.
Yeah, because your actions aren't showing
everybody
differences.
around you includes his parents who don't want y'all to get married, huh?
They've kind of told us to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Just his brother got married last year, so we were kind of trying to give him his moment and
Wah.
waiting. But he doesn't want to wait any longer, and neither do I. So
I would suggest you all
has
get
told me
married
it's
this
easier.
weekend and move out next weekend.
Hey, George here in the control booth, and I bet you're wondering what they're going to say next. Get out of debt, sell the horse, yada, yada, yada. The advice may be predictable, but the internet is anything but. You see, your personal info is out there, up for grabs by shady companies ready to add more scam and spam to your life. And that's why I use Delete Me. Delete Me will scrub your data from all of these sites so that you can focus on The Ramsey Show instead of who's buying and selling your info. And Ramsey fans get 20% off at joindeleteme.com/Ramsey or by using the link in the description below. So go take control of your privacy as soon as this call is over.
I would suggest you all
has
get
told me
married
it's
this
easier.
weekend and move out next weekend.
We actually have an opportunity to move into a cabin on his grandpa's land it is $15,000 that we have calculated to renovate it. So we
No, you're broke. You don't need to be renovating someone else's cabin.
Why can't you just get an apartment like everybody else?
You don't have any money, and you're broke.
We actually have donkeys, so we are not able to move into an apartment because we have donkeys that we have in our backyard.
Why? Where did those come from, and what are you using them for?
We actually breed them to sell the baby donkeys, but we had to get rid of a lot of them because we couldn't afford it.
I can't believe I'm asking this question. How many donkeys do you have?
We only have two right
And
now.
what are they
We have a
worth?
male and a
And what are they
female.
worth?
The female is probably worth $1,000, and the male is probably close to $1,100.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I would tell my daughter if she was 23 and she called up and was in this situation. I can't imagine that happening, but let's say she did, okay? I would say sell 2 donkeys, get married, and move out within the next 3 weeks into an inexpensive apartment. You have $100,000 a year income, clean up this mess of debt that you have, and then start saving to buy a nice property and a piece of ground later and restart your donkey business later. If that's your dream. I suspect your dream's going to change about the time children start coming.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, we
don't
I
revolve
wanted to
our
start
major
really
life
well.
decisions around donkeys in the backyard.
That is a good principle of life, Dave.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Oh, this is great. This is so fabulous. Madeline, you're a sweet girl.
Yeah.
But I think you're listening to everybody else except the two of you. And I think you and your husband-to-be need to move out and get you an apartment and get married right now. And then you need to clean up your debt mess. And if the donkeys are keeping you from doing that, then we need to get rid of the donkeys. And that's not a metaphor. That's an actual fact.
That's a fact.
William is in Harrisburg. Hey, William, what's up in Pennsylvania?
Everything's doing very well, thank you.
I'm glad. How can I help?
Mr. Ramsey, first, thank you. I hooked into you about 15 years ago, and you've changed my life.
Oh, I didn't change it. You did. I'm proud of you.
Well, because of your input.
Well, thank you, sir.
I have about $100,000 that I need to put into my house because of water abatement and mold.
Ooh. It's been going on a while.
We've been in the house for 30 years, and I've just been putting it off and putting it off.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's been going on a while.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have about $800,000 in retirement, a mixture of Roth IRAs and traditional IRAs.
How old are you?
I am 67 years old.
Okay.
Retired.
How many bids have you gotten on the work?
Say again?
How many bids have you gotten on this work?
About 3 or 4 of them.
Okay, so you got a good average. You know that 100,000 is an accurate number. It's not one guy sticking you.
Correct.
Oh, good.
Correct.
Good for you. It's not your first ride on the cabbage truck. Okay. Good. Okay.
Yep.
So is a simple
my
answer. Simple answer, dude. Take 100 of your 800 and fix your house.
Okay, not do a home equity loan.
No, we're not borrowing money when we have 800 grand in the bank.
Okay. And here's the reason I asked. I have a pension and Social Security that puts me at about $85,000.
Yeah.
So if I take $100,000 out of my retirement, I'm going to have to pay 30% tax on much of that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Still pay the 30% tax.
Absolutely. I'm not going in debt. Not when you're a millionaire. And you're
Sure.
a millionaire. No. No.
I appreciate it.
Easy enough. That's easy, man.
That's a good question.
Well done. Good question, sir, and good answer. Open phones 888-825-5225. Another way of asking yourself these questions, like William's asking, is always reverse engineer it, folks.
That's true.
And say, if I had $700,000 in my retirement account, would I go borrow $100,000 to have $800 in?
Mm-hmm.
No, I wouldn't. Same thing. The thing that's throwing him is he doesn't want to pay the tax.
Well, why do people feel?
If he has traditional, he has required minimum distributions coming up at 72.5 anyway.
That's right. That's right.
They're right around the corner. So he's going to have to begin to pull this money down anyway.
Mm-hmm. I think people think when they roll money into their house, they won't feel it as debt. Like it's almost like in their mind, it doesn't count as debt.
Yeah. Take a HELOC and do this 100,000. So yeah, you're Williams. He's a saver.
He is. Good
Another
job.
way of saying it is he's a cheapskate. He didn't fix a mold issue that got worse while he's sitting on 800 grand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, go fix your house.
Type 1
Really.
syndrome.
Yeah, this is really what you've been saving too harshly here, brother. Yeah, it's good. Very, very good. So Jade,
Do you want to talk about the donkeys?
I'm still trying to get my emotions around that one.
Yeah.
I didn't completely lose it on the air. That's pretty good. Laughing.
I was close.
I thought you were going to have
close.
to phone a friend and see if George would say to sell the donkeys. You know, it's kind of like kind of
George! I forgot it. We should have channeled our inner George.
I know. Where is he
And
when
now,
we need him?
so the horse people were after George. Now the donkey people will be after me.
How do you get
for
into
making fun of the donkeys and saying sell the donkeys?
Yeah. I don't even know how you get into how that
No, wait a
becomes
minute.
your dream in life.
What set of parents lets the girlfriend move in with their son and bring the donkeys? That's over the top.
It's over the top.
Hun, Mom, I'm bringing a girl home and a couple of donkeys.
Great. Here's the room upstairs.
I'm thinking my mom would have said, "You're not my child."
Oh man, I wouldn't have survived.
I'm bringing the donkeys. Yeah. If we could make up these calls that were this good, we'd make them up. But instead, we just take calls from normal people. This is The Ramsey Show. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Portland, Maine is where Bryce joins us. Bryce, how can we help?
Hey, Ken and George, I appreciate you guys taking my call.
You bet. What's up?
So I bought a new car in July of 2021. I'm 18, still living at home with my parents. And I have around $20,000 left on that auto loan. My question is, I also do some reselling on the side with sneakers. So I have around $18,000 worth of collectible Nike and Jordan shoes.
Hold on.
So,
Hold on. Whoa. Slow down. I don't want to roll past that. You got a real shoe guy on the line with you, with me, and the Air Jordans. I mean, are these vintage or are these like newer? Explain this to me.
So I don't have many vintage ones. I have more of the like newer collaborations.
Yeah.
So the question was, do I sell them now and continue or pay it off in full, or do I let them build in value and continue to make the regular payments?
So are you collecting these or are you reselling?
So I do a bit of both. So basically, I'll try to get 2 or 3 pairs if I can, sell one, pay off the pair that I currently have.
Got it.
So I can kind of keep one and sell one and make my money. So I basically pay off the one that I'm holding on to.
Are you buying these shoes with cash?
No, I use a credit card.
Oh, he whispered it. Okay, Bryce.
I like this kid.
I think you're a real bright guy.
He whispered it.
You have an entrepreneurial spirit. Clearly, you're really good at this. But this thing is going to bite you in the butt if you're not careful.
Yeah, in fact, I got a question on that, George. Bryce, of the sneakers that you say are $18,000, are you carrying any debt on that $18,000 worth of sneakers?
No debt.
So right now you have $18,000 in value or liquid value of shoes, tennis shoes.
Correct.
And you owe $20 on the car.
Yes,
What kind of car is it?
It's a Honda Civic.
Okay.
George,
I'm a Honda Civic guy. This
George,
is my
this
territory.
is in your lane here.
All right, Bryce. Here's 2 options. One, you sell your entire shoe collection.
Yep.
That hurts, right?
Yeah.
Would you even be willing to do that? You called us asking, but are you willing to?
I would if I got, if I heard the right. I need some opinions. That's what I'm kind of.
Let me ask you an honest question. Why all of a sudden do you care about paying off debt?
I'm just I don't really like to carry debt. I always pay my credit cards off early when I can. I never make the minimum payment. I always pay them off in full. I just don't like debt.
So would you agree that
period.
becoming debt-free is the best thing you can do for Bryce right now at 18 years old?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, George, we're going to popcorn in and out here. I got to know. How much is the car worth, the Civic?
It's new or in the condition it's in right now.
Right now.
What, did you mess it up?
It's a 2021. You said you bought it in the summer of 2021. You been drag racing or what? What's the deal?
No. Just no.
What is it
I'm
worth
not that
today?
crazy.
I know, I'm kidding. What is it worth today if you sold it today?
Probably locally I could probably get around 24, 25 in
Dude,
the current
you know
market.
what?
I'd sell that.
I'm selling the car and driving a beater and keeping the shoe collection.
You're 18. You live with your parents. George is right. Because here's the other question I had. Do you want to stay in the sneaker business? I mean, do you know enough about it?
I know the market very well. I do this, I've been doing the sneakers since 15 to now, but I've been mainly doing retail stuff.
So you don't want to. So you don't want to do it long term.
No. If I can make a quick buck, I will. But
let me ask you this:
it's not something.
How much of the $18,000 shoe collection? Because you said part of it is you flip them for some money, the other part is true collector. So I'm going to engage your collector's heart. I'm just curious. Give me a round number, because you may not have thought through this. How many do you really want to keep? If you're going to sell some, but others you go, man, I really want to hold on to these just for truly being a collector and letting them go up in value from years and years from now. You got a number?
I have around 3 pairs that I absolutely really don't want to let go.
All right, how much are those worth?
I know them. Currently, each of those are worth around $2,000 each.
So $6,000.
Right.
All right, George. All right, Bryce, I'm going to hand you to George. George, I got an idea. What if he sells every other shoe? All right, except those 3.
Which would be about $12,000 worth.
He's going to net 12.
Okay.
He sells the car. He thinks it's worth 25. Let's say he's right. He owes 20. Now he's got 17, and he's debt free, and he cuts the credit card.
So he sells the car for 25.
Sells it for 25.
He has 25. He pays off the 20.
He nets 5 on the car.
Plus the 12. That's 17.
Plus he's got 17 cash.
And you can get a better car than a beater.
Okay.
Much better than a beater, and
here's what I know about
no
Bryce.
debt.
He could get this collection back up and going in no time. I mean, if a 15-year-old can do this, 18-year-old Bryce is even better at it now.
George, tell him why the credit card is a stupid idea.
Bryce, you play with snakes, you're going to get bit. And you're a sharp dude. You don't need to do this with debt. You told me right now that you don't even like carrying debt, so why mess with it? When you have the cash, then it's pure profit at that point if you're buying and selling shoes.
Right.
And same with your car. You're making payments on something that's going down in value. A car loan is one of the stupidest decisions when it comes to debt you could make. And the truth is, I think you're an amazing, amazing, bright young dude. And you're going to crush it for the rest of your life if you can avoid debt, which I know you can.
Bryce, you can do it with cash.
Also, 3 pairs of shoes worth $6,000.
Yeah, what are they?
That's what my last car cost me,
All right,
Ken.
stop it, George. What are the shoes, by the way? What are the shoes? The 3 pair.
So the 3 pairs, I have a pair of off-white Air Force Ones, the University Gold pair that released in Boston, and 2 pairs of Travis Scott Jordan 1s.
And those are each worth $2,000 each.
About that, and the sizes, yes.
What size you got, by the way? I'm just curious. Asking for a friend.
This might be the first time someone makes a deal live on the Ramsey Show.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
no, I'm not going to pay
got...
you $2,000 for a pair of tennis shoes, man.
Oh, we can work something out.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I am interested in the off-white Air Force Ones. We'll talk about it.
The shoe
on
world
the break.
hurts my brain.
Does it hurt your brain?
What happens if Travis Scott does something stupid and all of a sudden the shoes are worth $0 because no one wants to be associated with him?
Well, that's why I didn't ask about the Travis Scott ones. You make a very good point.
Right, Bryce?
But Michael Jordan's Michael Jordan, baby.
Sure.
Air Force Ones are Air Force Ones.
That's true.
All right, real quick before we let you go, young man, you're 18. What do you have an idea what you want to do? You dreaming about something?
No, I'm not too sure right now, honestly.
Are you in high school still?
No, I graduated in 21.
Are you taking a gap year?
I'm not sure about college right now.
Good man. All right. Hang on the line. I'm going to give you 2 things, all right? We're going to give you the Get Clear Career Assessment. It's a 20-minute online assessment, all right? And it's going to help you get some real clarity on some great ideas, but more importantly, a purpose statement based on your talent, things you do best, passion, work you love to do, and mission, results you want to create. And I'm also going to give you my best-selling book, From Paycheck to Purpose. Think of the Get Clear Career Assessment, Bryce, as a compass, and the book is kind of the guide up the mountain. Hang on the line. We're going to give you both of those. So Kelly will give him an assessment, Get Clear Career Assessment, and the book From Paycheck to Purpose. Boy, he's one of those kids that if he really listens to you on this whole debt thing, he's going to be wildly successful.
Because he has the foundation. He's got the principles down of how to do business.
Yeah.
Now we just have to do it without debt. So he's not calling back going, hey, I'm $200,000 in debt.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was going to make a huge profit off this get-rich-quick scheme.
Yeah. Kelly, ask him what the Ken Coleman deal would be for the off-white Air Force Ones. We'll see. We'll see during the commercial break. We'll see. I think it's a little high price for me, George. I don't think it's in the envelope for this one.
Would you look cool in them? I don't know.
I think I would.
Well, I'll let Kelly decide that.
Today's question comes from Lucas in Maryland. I am currently in baby step 2, working on paying off the remainder of our student loan debt. We have paid $69,000, but have a balance of $38,000. We paid off our home. We make $100,000 a year. I have an extensive firearm collection that I could sell off a portion of and pay it off tomorrow. But I'm hesitant to do that as I am afraid I wouldn't be able to replace many of them. Should I sell them to pay off the debt tomorrow or keep moving the way I am and pay it off by December? I don't know. Firearms are kind of in your bucket of life. I'm not sure how much I could speak into that.
I have an extensive purse collection.
It's a third.
There we go. Now we'll make it relative.
All right. You're working with me. Okay. I don't know. I would be interested in your take on this because for me, I'm like, okay, you make $100,000 a year, you have $38,000, and you have a plan to pay it off by December. You could just keep trucking along.
Easy enough, yeah.
Easy enough and pay it off without having to.
But the thing I would do is this. In any collection I have, and I'm a collector of things.
Oh, we know.
I have an OCD side to me. I collect used water skis. I collect firearms. I'm just like, I get off on something. I go down the whole rabbit hole and don't get out. So
collector, hoarder. right in that same
the fine line of that. Yeah. So anyway. This is not about me. So what I would tell you, though, as one firearm guy to another guy that has an extensive collection, I don't know what you mean by extensive collection, okay? If you have an extensive collection that is worth $300,000, okay, and you can sell off 10% of it and pay this off today,
yeah.
you probably have 10% of stuff around the edges of that collection that you don't care that much about. That's not in the sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not your babies. You know, they're not safe queens, as we call them. And so if your entire collection is $80,000 and you would be selling half of it, then you're probably cutting out a little bit of your heart when you do that. So I think that's what you got to ask yourself and just say, okay, is it worth it? Is there some of these items that I care more about being out of debt on than I do the other way? I will tell you this. If the numbers were different, if it was going to be an extended period of time,
yes,
I don't care.
3 years.
Yeah, I'd be selling your stuff, man.
Yep.
And I will never forget in Financial Peace University years ago when I was teaching it live with an overhead projector, this big old guy, he's a linebacker-looking guy, completely ripped, probably 260 pounds, muscles everywhere, blonde-headed guy, country boy. He and his little bitty nurse wife were sitting there, and she starts telling the group what her husband had done to get out of debt, and she's just crying. And I'm like, what in the world? And she said he has had this knife collection that was his most prized possession, and he sold it for $12,000, and we paid off all of our debt last week because he said, I love you and my kids more than I love my knife.
Wow.
And what that spoke to her, that it just screamed at her, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole place is just like giving him a standing ovation because that's a man.
Yeah.
That's a grown up who will sacrifice for the good of their family,
just stuff.
for their future, and it's just stuff.
Yep.
So in that sense, if these numbers were different, Lucas, I would be putting you in that category and saying, dude, sell your guns.
Yeah.
Sell your guns. They're just guns. I mean, it's just fun. But you've got the income, your debt-free house, and everything. You're down to the last $38,000. You're going to get there pretty quick anyway. So it's a different discussion.
And would the same thing be for I remember being on the show, I think I was with Ken maybe when we were hosting, and a guy had a collector car that he just loved. And he's like, I could sell it and be out of debt today, or I could be out of debt.
Again, there's some situations like that. Some collector cars, okay, my dad and I rebuilt this Mustang 500 hours when I was 14 through 17 years old. I'm 42. You don't sell that car. That's like selling your wedding ring.
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't ask you to sell your wedding ring either to get out of debt. But I bought this car a few years ago and it's kind of fun. You sell that car.
Yeah.
If you've got yourself into a mess because you gave up the right to own something like that because you'd already spent the money.
Yes.
And so, but there's some things that have some nostalgic value. Or if in this firearms collection was a musket from his great-grandfather that he used, to protect the fort or what, I don't know. Whatever you don't sell that gun, okay? That's a family heirloom. That's not a collection item.
Unless it doesn't mean much to you. And it's a family heirloom that's just sitting there, and you're like, I don't really.
You don't sell that gun because you'll wake up later and it'll mean something to you. If it was that. Well, my wedding ring doesn't mean that much to me. Yeah, you're going to regret that. Don't do that. That's just, that's going to come. You're a little bit too enthused about getting out of debt right now. You need to calm down about one notch,
Oh.
No, I mean, really. You don't sell your wedding ring.
The Gazelle has slowed down.
Well, the Gazelle doesn't sell its wedding ring. It just runs, okay? Don't stop and sell your wedding ring. Keep running. But, yeah.
No, that's good. That's a good.
Now somebody's going to send me little cartoons of gazelles with wedding rings.
So mad at you. People are going to be so mad at you. No, but it's a good. Because I feel like getting out of debt is not a balanced thing. You're not balanced when you're getting out of debt. You are doing everything humanly possible to get out of debt. It's that intensity, and the more you sacrifice, the faster you're going to do it.
And there's that final 1% that's crazy.
You plug in that small human element and say, okay, what's worth it? Okay, since we're on the topic.
There used to be a lady that had a newsletter back when there were paper newsletters. That her way of getting money was she didn't ever buy anything. She went and got in dumpsters and got stuff out of dumpster diving. Okay? I'm not doing that. And I'm not recommending people do that. Okay? If you want to do it, I'm not mad at you, but that's like homeless people stuff. Okay? I'm not dumpster diving because to get out of debt. That's that last 1% of crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm not going in the last 1%.
Or like we're going to sell our house and live in a tent.
I'm going to put you up on 99% crazy, but I'm not going into the last 1%.
That's fair.
That's selling the wedding ring, selling the car that your dad and you rebuilt for 500 hours when you were 14. That's selling a family heirloom or a special place, or in this case, it's a short period of time that you're gaining, an uber short period of time, and so I'm not going to sell something that's hard to replace. A lot of guns, you can get another one, depending on what it is. But if you've got a unique piece that's probably one of 50 or something, you're probably not going to find that one again. These aren't guns you shoot, people. These are collectibles.
Yes.
And so, but that's, that's
good.
where I would put that.
Yep, I think it's great. I think it's a balanced approach, and it's good hearing that perspective because it gives a look. Because we all have something like that, right? It's like that human element, so it's good.
Great question, Lucas. Appreciate you writing into us, brother. This is the Ramsey Show.
Kelsey's up next in Baton Rouge. Kelsey, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you.
Absolutely.
I wanted to get your advice. My husband and I are trying to make a difficult decision. We're on our debt-free journey, and we've got 2 daughters that are young but exceptionally talented at gymnastics, and we're trying to decide if we should sell our home to become debt-free and to be able to continue to support their gymnastics, or should we stay in our home and maybe pull them out so that we can really kickstart our baby step journey.
Wow. Why is selling the house your first option?
We have a lot of equity in our home, and I guess sometimes we just feel like we'd be pretty happy in a more modest home.
That's a reason to sell it, not so that we can be able to ship our kids all over the country.
Yeah.
If I am really hesitant for you to use your kids as an excuse to make any sort of decision. You all need to make what's the best decision for your family and your living needs and your financial situation, and then the kids come on the back end of that.
Sure.
They can't carry the weight of their parents' hopes and dreams.
We sold the house for you to do gymnastics, and now you don't want to do gymnastics anymore?
Now you just want to smoke cigarettes? And they can't carry that weight. You know what I mean? They can't.
We wouldn't want to do that. I will say we originally had planned on selling our home so we could quickly become debt-free and have that peace. Since my husband's our sole provider, we're ready to get there. But then we recently had the thought that we could just take them out of gymnastics and make it work to stay in this house, which is where I guess.
How much is gymnastics costing you?
Gymnastics for both of them total is $870 a month.
Wow.
Gosh, and that doesn't include travel, does it?
It doesn't, but the majority of our meets are local, and I'm pretty sure we have the option to decline any travel at this stage since they're so young.
So what would something in your gut says put taking them out on the table? What is it?
It is a lot of money, and if we took them out, I guess crunching the numbers, either way, we end up hopefully with a paid-for house at 40 years old, completely debt-free, but one option is they're still in gymnastics, but we're in a more modest home, whereas the other option is staying in this home, taking them out, and then we have a much nicer home that's paid for.
I would look at cutting all other expenses, increasing income, taking on side jobs, and staying in the home. And selling the home to me is a last-ditch option, unless you guys just hate this house and want to move anyways. But that's a huge step to take just to keep affording gymnastics.
Yeah, I would not do this because of gymnastics. If you're able to afford it because you've done this, fine. I always want parents to ask themselves, are we keeping our kids in after-school sports and elite travel stuff to fulfill our dreams or for our kids? Because most kids just want time with their parents.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Hi, my question is how can I save for my retirement when I'm basically living paycheck to paycheck?
Okay. Why are you living paycheck to paycheck?
Well, I am 51 years old. I work blue-collar electrician, and I am married. But with my debt, I have a debt unofficially at $55,000, officially $60,000. And I have 3 grandbabies, and I'm just trying to.
How do you have officially or unofficially? I don't know. What's that mean?
Unofficially, I have right at $55,000 because I just purchased a new vehicle in November. Officially, it's because I owe my husband about $6,000.
What? How do you owe your husband? Your ex-husband or your
we just-
husband?
No, sir. My husband. We've been married 17 years, been together 20. Reader's Digest version is the way I was raised in past relationships. I do not depend on anyone financially.
How's that working for you?
That obviously
It's
sucks.
stressful.
Yeah, it's
Horrible.
stressful. It's a terrible way to live.
It's a horrible plan.
Absolutely, I agree.
Okay.
I just can't get myself to and my husband doesn't complain. He doesn't try to push me. You know, he always say, "Don't worry about it." But I kind of used him.
He's pretty tolerant.
Or
very
terrified of you.
tolerant. He is.
He must be scared of you.
Hey Tammy,
I am older, sir.
we can give you all the math and all the professional guidance and all that, but you're gonna have to have a heart change, or this thing's just gonna crash. You see it happening right in front of your eyes. You can't live like this.
I do, and that's the reason why I'm struggling with trying to put all I can into my 401k, but then again trying to step out of my comfort zone.
You kind of missed the point.
You're missing my whole point.
You missed the point.
Did you go buy a $50,000 car?
No, sir. I only paid $49 for it.
Well played, Tammy. Well played. Tammy, why? Why? Why would you buy a $49,000 depreciating asset and call us and ask us
why you're living paycheck to
paycheck?
I can tell you why you're living paycheck to paycheck. The stupidity is sitting on your driveway. It's got
amazing.
4 tires.
And that, by the way, high five. That was a fantastic answer. That was remarkable.
Great answer. So here's what I'll tell you, okay? The data that we know from 30 years of helping folks with their money is that almost no one succeeds relationally in their marriage and succeeds financially towards wealth building that does not combine their lives with their husband. So I'm going to strongly beg you to consider dealing with the emotions of the past betrayals, dealing with the times that people stepped on you that caused you to take this stance and say, I can trust this man that I'm married to. He's my guy. He's my husband. He's safe. And we're going to sit down together and combine our income and combine our debts and combine our assets. And we're going to be what the preacher said. And now you are one, because you're going to struggle financially, and it hurts your relationship too. You're going to act like it doesn't, and you're going to try to tell me it didn't, but you're wrong. It does.
No, you're correct. You're correct.
Yeah. And then that's going to also then line you up, and you're going to have to go, oh, I made a mistake last November. I put our family $50,000 in debt that we couldn't afford, and I'm going to have to sell the car and get rid of the problem that I caused, because it's a problem. And then we're going to sit down together and we're going to lay out a budget, and we're going to start dreaming about how we're going to, 40 years from now, be sitting on the front porch, multimillionaires together. That's what I want for you. That's a different thing than you called about, though.
Yes, it is.
Because what does he make?
Depending on the year, about 120,
What do you
140
make?
a year. Depending on the year, about 40 to 50.
Okay. So you got $200,000 almost household income, give or take. And
Yes, and we have no mortgage.
That puts you. That puts you
you
up
got
in
no
the-
mortgage, and you got a car you can't afford. He probably has a pile of money.
He does.
Okay.
He's
So-
very good with his money.
Yeah. So our money. So then the two of you need to start talking. Do we really want to keep this car? If we do, we need to write a check and pay it off. Or I need to say I need to sell it because I shouldn't have bought it. One of the two. But you trying to live like a roommate on $40,000 a year and then calling me up while he's making 140 and going, I don't know how I can prosper. Well, the way you can prosper is the two of you combine your lives properly, and it will cause you to prosper. But that's you admitting that you don't have all the answers and all the strength and all the crap by yourself. And by the way, I'm a much better person when I'm combined with Sharon. And by the way, she's a much better person when she's combined with me.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, everyone knows
Everyone
that.
is.
Everyone knows that. Now, we're better because, you bring different strengths and weaknesses in, and when you combine them, you get this beautiful, beautiful orchestra that's a synergy. And Larry Burkett used to say, if two people just alike get married, one of you is unnecessary. So that these opposites attract, and you plug into that. And so, Tammy, my wife Sharon has not worked outside the home in 40 years. She's not earned any income, with the exception of selling some clothes at the consignment sale clothes place. But other than that, she's not earned any income. But guess what? She has a fabulous income because we have a fabulous income. And it's our income. It's not Dave's income and Sharon's income. It's our income. And she has a great life, and I have a great life. And part of the reasons I have a great life is because of her. And so I have, I'm not going to allow her. Not allow, that's not the right word. I wouldn't want for her, and she wouldn't want for me, to be living standalone, siloed lives inside the same house.
I wonder what it would be like if she asked her husband, would you forgive that $5,000 debt? I bet he would say, I already have. Right? I already have. I bet
she's the one carrying it.
I bet she's
not
carrying the debt. I'll pay you back. I'm paying you back.
Because she's the one.
I bet he could care less.
He's standing over there. He's going to be so happy.
Yep.
Tammy, when you do this, he's gonna really love Dave Ramsey and John Deloney because we're the guys who finally talk.
He gets his wife back.
He's got his wife. Yeah. Yeah. Please consider that. And by the way, if you combine everything and it goes horribly, you can separate it again later.
But hey, you people,
it's not going to go horribly. It works.
Folks listening who are in the top 5 to 10% of earners on planet Earth, making $200,000 a year, living paycheck to paycheck. It's probably not the money's. That's the issue.
Yeah. Amen.
It's the mirror.
Create your free every dollar budget today. The simplest way to budget for your life.
Today's question comes from Thomas in Maine. Thomas writes, I've done all that I can. I love it when a sentence starts, something starts that way.
That's pretty definite.
Yep. I've explained to the babies. I need to stop interrupting, but I can already tell you where this is headed. I've done all that I can. I've explained the baby steps without rudeness or anger. I've never tried to control my wife. I helped her pay off 9 credit cards. Everything was fine, and we were on fire until about a month ago. Then my wife started using credit cards we already paid off and just got another one in the mail yesterday. I was told, my money is none of Dave Ramsey's business and none of yours. So she's decided it's Christmas time and she's going to do what she wants. My wife has a master's degree in communications, yet refuses to take a job that uses her degree. So instead of her making $3,000 to $6,000 a month, she makes $2,000 a month at a job with no benefits. My wife also has student loans that are now officially none of my business. I'm very confused, very hurt, and angry. My instinct is to give up and end the marriage. This isn't the first money argument we've had, and it won't be our last. I don't see where we are going financially or in our marriage. Am I wrong for being angry about this situation? Whew. Honestly, if Thomas was here and he just said this to me, I would stop. I would take out my headphones, my earpieces, and I would give Thomas a hug. Like, it's just hard. It's just hard. It sounds like he is at resentment, and that's a hard place to be in your relationship. It's a hard place to come back from. Dave, I don't know a lot, but I can guarantee you this isn't about money. This is about something else going on in their relationship.
Oh, this is about control.
Yeah, and power, and explaining.
This is a power struggle.
Yeah,
and it has been ongoing for a long time.
Right.
And so he weaponized me in the process.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you weaponize Dave Ramsey in your house, I'll just tell you it doesn't work, okay? Mm. If you go around and say Dave Ramsey said, nobody gives a crap what Dave Ramsey says. They truly don't. What they care about is information that will change their life. That's what they care about. And they don't care that it came from me. It adds no... It does not, if you turn my name into a cuss word or Ramsey in general into a cuss word in your house, you did not accomplish a thing. And so this is about control. If this marriage is gone, unless you guys get some in-depth counseling, because you are both have crossed the line of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, as Les Parrott talks about in his marriage seminars. One of them is contempt. And contempt, when you reach a relationship with anyone where you look at them with an eye roll, that it means you are contemptuous of them. It means you have completely lost any respect for them. Your need to serve them and love them is just gone. This is all about, I have to tolerate your presence and you stink. You need a bath. It starts to feel that way. That's the way this sounds, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and it's coming both directions, right?
Oh, yeah.
Wife is doing this back.
Yeah, she's completely had it with him. And, dude, you can say, I've done all that I can, and I explained this with baby steps or without rudeness or anger, and then the last line in the email is, am I wrong to be angry? There's a little inconsistency here. You've been pissed about this stuff a long time. And she has a degree in communications and refuses to use it. That's true. But not about her career. She sucks at communication.
But also, people will cash out their dreams. They will cash out their professional ambitions to prove a point, right? They will drive themselves into debt. You're not going to tell me what to do. Yeah, you said this is about power, and this is about, I'm tired of you talking down to me. This is about, I'm tired of you telling me how I have to do whatever. This is a marriage that is hanging on by
there's been a lot of you should, you need tos in this house. Both of you.
You're gonnas. Yeah.
Both of you, instead of, hey, what if we looked out there and saw a really bright place in the future and we walked towards it together? That's a much more persuasive methodology than, if you'd get a good job instead of working at half of what you're worth, we could clean this mess up, you lazy woman.
Well, if you'd quit talking down to me and explain it's my money, Dave Ramsey can kiss my butt. I mean, and we're just going to do this in circles and in circles and in circles and in circles.
What's our buddy that did the Love and Respect? He calls it the crazy cycle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It builds on itself, and it just spins out.
It's a tornado. That's right.
It spins out. It's, what is it? Elder. Yeah. Gosh, I'll have to go look it up. Love and Respect is a great book. It's a great marriage book.
So, Thomas, this is when I talk to somebody in your situation.
Bad. Yeah.
Yes, and you've got to stop the fight. This is when you walk in and you lay down your sword, you lay down your shield and say, I'm not fighting you anymore. Because this isn't about a fight. This is about getting on the same page.
Yeah. If we can't get on the same page, this is over.
This is a civil war, and we're just shooting grenades at each other, and we're going to end up killing our family and our friends and our neighbors.
In the Civil War in the United States, family shot family.
That's right.
And that's what
friend shot friend. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Stop fire. Don't fire another weapon.
Yeah.
Just go sit down on her side of the couch and say, let's
You're
fix this
not
together.
wrong to be angry, but it's not working for you.
Yeah. Stop explaining.
You guys are going to get some help. You're in eye roll. You're in contempt. It is one of the 4 things that ends relationships permanently. Contempt is very hard to come back from.
All right, Fernando asks, what I should do to get out of my dad's house and out of debt while looking to get married. Dude, Fernando, you got a lot going on, man. I'm a manager for a financial institution call center making $68,000 before taxes and have $9,000 in my 401. I still live at my dad's house and I pay the utility bills. I'm looking to move out of my dad's house, but Arizona home prices are still high. I have over $20,000 in debt spread between credit cards, past due taxes set up on a payment plan, and 401k loans. I believe my dad would... taking up 401k loans. I believe my dad may be able to lend me money to knock out some credit card debt that would help a lot since I'm paying over 25% APR rate. However, I've never asked him for anything since I was 14 years old, I guess except for a place to live and rent. I'm not sure if I should ask my dad for money or how to ask him if I do. Oh, Fernando.
Fernando. We have no clue how old Fernando is. I don't think he mentioned that. He could be 50. He could be 20.
That's right.
No clue. We're going to guess he's closer to 20.
Let's pretend. Let's just, for the sake of this, let's just pretend he's 25.
All right.
Okay, 25. So he's got a job making 68, making 70 grand at a financial call institution, and he wants to move out. Okay. So he makes enough money right now that he could go get an apartment and get his call center job and deliver for Amazon in the morning or deliver for whatever and start working multiple jobs to get this stupid debt paid off. He could make a really clear plan with his old man and say, I'm going to live here for 3 more months. I'm going to have zero. I'm just going to pay the utility bills. I'm going to spend no dollars, and I'm going to start wiping this debt out as quick as I can. Like, he can come up with a plan like that. But he's trying to. Sounds like he's trying to do everything all at the same time. He wants to not live at dad's house, but not have some debt, but also
trying to invest,
buy a house. I got some investments, but I had to take some loans out against my investments. He's just got too much going on at the same time, right?
Yeah, that's a classic case for most people. They don't know why they're not making progress. They're frustrated, and they lay out all the details on paper, and you're like, well, you could stop doing that and that and that and that and focus on one thing with intensity, which is getting out of debt. That should be your next goal, which means we're pausing investing. Which means we're not going to take out any more debt, which is only exacerbating the problem. And so,
or the way to free yourself from your dad is not to ask him for a loan so that you can move out from
I'm going to move out, but still be chained to him with payments.
Exactly.
That's not going to help the relationship.
So imagine going to the gym, George.
I'm trying to go there with you, John.
This is quite the stretch. I get it.
All right.
But imagine going to the gym.
Do I have to work out?
Well, yeah, that's kind of the point of this whole little story I'm telling. You go to the gym and you get underneath a squat bar and you pick up one dumbbell for curls and you attach one of your legs to one of those little band things and you do this on a treadmill, right? You're not gonna get in good shape doing that. You're gonna get a lot of broken bones and you're gonna go nowhere.
Well, you might look
right?
really cool.
You would not. Absolutely would not. I think it's very similar, man. Like, you're trying to do everything all at one time. I love that. Like, get out of debt first, dude. Get out of debt. Make a plan to get out of your dad's house, and go from there.
Yeah, because on paper, I'm going, you make $70,000, you have $20,000 in debt. You can do this. There's people who make less with more debt that have paid it off.
You
So
can
this
do this
is possible.
very, very quickly.
And
by
you
the
have
way,
no expenses.
A financial institution call center, which is, I love the way he said that. A financial institution call center.
Okay.
He could do that. That job is going to be shift oriented. Like, I'm working the night shift and working the day shift, so you've got plenty of time to work like crazy on another 1, 2, or 3 jobs. Figure it out.
Absolutely. Andrew joins us up next in Austin, Texas. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys. How y'all doing?
We're doing great. What's going on with you?
Not much, man. Just looking for a little bit of advice here. So I've been listening to the show for a little bit, and just trying to figure out the best moves next. Like, I've started some of the baby steps, saved up $1,000, and I'm really just trying to get debt free at this point. I have a little bit of credit card debt, about $6,500, and then around $7,990 in student loan debt. And I've got a stock from a previous company that, company that I worked for. They had a stock purchase program. You get a discount, they'd buy the stock for you essentially. And it's done well for itself. And I've got about $12,000 in that. So I was thinking about selling that stock and then using that money to pay off the majority of my debt. I'm just trying to decide if that's the best idea or if I should still hold the stock. But if I do pull the stock, or if I do sell it, should I put it towards my credit card that has interest on it right now, and then the remainder towards my student loan debt, or vice versa? So that's kind of just where my thought process is right now. I just can't decide what the best move is.
I love it. Well, welcome to the club of weirdos who do money differently. And one of those things is cashing out those stocks. Now, beware, you want to work with a tax pro. There's going to be a tax implication here on the gains. And so make sure you have that set aside to pay Uncle Sam when that time comes due. But yes, use the rest of that towards your smallest balance. So if that's your credit card, regardless of interest rate, we are attacking the smallest debt first. So you're going to knock out the credit card tomorrow, and then most of the student loan is going to get knocked out too. Do you have money saved in the bank as well?
Yeah, I've got I've got about $2,000 or $3,000 just saved in the bank, and then I've got around $36,000 in a 401k and about $8,000 in a Roth IRA.
Okay.
So I haven't done terrible saving, but I'm just trying to knock out the debt so I can save more.
Yeah. Well, definitely do not touch any retirement accounts. Don't pull any money out of that. But these stocks sound like they're outside of retirement, correct?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
They were just it was just an offering from the company and an additional benefit essentially that I was like, I can save up for this. It'll be money pulled out of my paycheck that I won't see. I won't miss it, and then hopefully it'll work out. And this stock has gone from, at certain times it was bought at around $120 a share, and now it's around $350 a share.
I'm cashing
so
out while the
it's done
getting's
really
good,
well,
man.
and
Because
Yeah,
3
I'm
weeks
just
from now,
like-
you're going to say, I'm going to hold it just to see what happens. And then for some reason it tanks, and all of a sudden your debt-free date just got pushed out. So we tell anyone, if you've got volatile things like crypto, single stocks, and you've got debt, just cash it out, man. You can't beat the feeling of debt freedom, and you're going to get there so fast. You're almost there. If you cash everything out of the bank except for that $1,000 for your starter emergency fund, cash out the stocks, throw all of that on it, you're going to be like pennies away from debt freedom.
Yeah, and that's kind of where my head was at, and I just was like, I just didn't know the best way to go about it. But yeah, real close, and just want to be done with the credit card and student loan debt.
Be done. Never look back, and cut up those cards, close the accounts. You will not miss it, man. I'm telling you right now. Mary joins us up next. She is in Fort Worth, Texas. Mary, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. How can John and I help?
Well, I have a question, and I hope it's a simple answer. So I have 2 boys. One is already in his second year in college, away from home, and my second one is going to be graduating in May. He has decided to attend community college to avoid debt.
I love that.
With that said, I totally support him with that. With that said, I'm recently remarried for about a year, so my new husband feels that I sort of baby him. And he feels that once he graduates in May, that I should be starting to charge him rent. I'm not totally in agreement with that, but I don't know if that's just the mom in me saying that, or does he have, I guess, a good side of it that I'm not seeing.
I think we're conflating 2 separate conversations here. Okay. So one is the skin in the game, the kid's going to college, hey, you're an adult now and making adult decisions. Let's have adult conversations that are going to be different than we had when you were in high school. The other is your new husband saying, hey, I think you are babying this young man. And so it looks like they're the same conversation. They're not. One of these is I want our household to look a little bit different, and I want these boys to begin to grow up. And then the other is a business conversation. Do you get the difference there? So anytime somebody tells me that their romantic partner gives them this kind of feedback, my first question is always, are they right? Has your son, let me put it this way, how long were you divorced previously? Did your husband pass away?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I was divorced for about 9 years.
Okay. Can I ask you a really hard question?
Sure.
Did one or both of those boys help fill that gap, that space?
As far as not having like a partner during that time?
That's right.
I really would like to say no. I like to say that I treated both of the boys very equally.
Love it.
My older one is a little bit more like, I want to go do my thing, make my own decisions, and I supported him to do that. I did, give him the suggestion of as far as the school debt, but at the end of the day, I did let him make his own decision.
So sometimes what I've seen over the years is when there's a home with divorce, let's say, and I'm just picking that out of the blue because you and I are talking, or I'm using that example because you and I are talking. There's some sort of parental guilt that they will try to extricate from the relationship by over-helping with one of the children. Okay, or both of the children. I'm going to give you what you need. Sure, you can do this. Sure, I'll be there for you. Sure, I'm not going to miss any games. I'm going to try to backfill this hurt with all this other stuff. And I'm wondering, is that what your new husband is calling out?
To be honest, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Sometimes he'll make comments as far as like the chores he does, or as far as me asking my son to contribute. I'll be honest, my son works, so I do provide him an allowance till he graduates. Okay. But as far as him asking me for expensive things, he doesn't really ask me for anything. Okay. So I don't know if I'm missing something. I don't know if it has to do with the root he had as far as his childhood, or am I just really babying my son?
Well, so I think that's 2 different conversations. So I think you tell your husband, hey, you said that I'm babying him, and this is going to be a boundary conversation for your new marriage. Tell me more. What are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Because over the last decade, I've been by myself on my own. I've been doing my best to try to love these 2 boys, And I'd love your feedback because you're a grown man. I'd love your feedback. Now we're entering into a tell me more conversation that's not going to be no, I'm not, yes, you are, no, I'm not, right? So that's number one. Number two, in fact, before this call even came in, George and I just happened to be talking about this earlier today off air. I think there's several ways to approach the rent conversation, should you pay into it? My friend Mike, his dad, had a great a suggestion that I loved. He just sat down when Mike graduated college and said, hey, you get 6 months rent-free. You can cash it in over the course of your adult life. And he was like, all right, cool. And so he lived the first month after he graduated, and his dad came in and goes, 5 left. And he's like, oh, you mean like, and he's like, yep. I mean, so here's the important thing. It's setting boundaries. It's setting very, very clear. Here's my expectations. You can live rent-free for 1 year, and then we're going to charge you $500 a month. You got to get a job, or we're going to charge you rent out of the gate. I think however y'all do that, the important thing is that you have very clear boundaries with time deadlines on them, with responsibilities, with if you're going to live in this house, you still have to come home at midnight. Whatever y'all want to do, it's the messiness and the all-over-the-placeness that just wrecks relationships. George, what do you think?
Yeah, I just think having those ground rules in place is going to be key. Whether or not you charge them rent or not, I still want ground rules, and I want to know what the exit strategy looks like. Is this 10 years or is it 6 months?
It can't be extended high school.
Exactly. So I think as long as he's working a job, I think there's nothing wrong if you want to charge him a little bit of rent, give him a taste of what adult life is going to be, because he's going to have a payment like that to factor into his budget. And so maybe you say, hey, what are your financial goals? Great. Here's the agreement. You're going to live here, but you're going to build the emergency fund. You're going to start investing. You're going to save up that down payment, whatever that looks like. Let's have a goal for why we're doing this.
And here's what else I love. I would love your new husband to be a part of this because this is half his house too. And so I want him to be a part of setting the ground rules for the home that your son is going to choose to live in after he graduates high school. So he's going to talk to both of you. This isn't going to be the side deal between son and mom that you're going to try to go pitch to your new husband. Everybody's going to be in the room so that your new husband can say, my expectation is fine. I'm going to give you a year rent-free here. You will do the yard. You will help with the light bill. Whatever those are going to be. And again, that's a separate, it's almost a business transaction, if you would. Of course, it's your son and all that. But this is how would we approach this from a business angle? The other conversation is, hey, this is a broader picture you see of me and how I interact with my loved ones that's going to impact your marriage. That's a different conversation that I really want y'all to have. But thank you so much for that call.
Yeah. How does that sit with you, Mary?
It is another way to look at it, to be honest. I really didn't think about having a meeting with all three of us and really seeing. And I like the part that you shared where, it's part of being an adult. So that is a good way to definitely look at it. Thank you for the feedback.
You got it. Thank you so much for loving your son, man. That's fantastic.
Good stuff.
Congrats on your new marriage.
Yeah. This is a big one, John. Parents are dealing with this, and especially millennials. There's a sandwich generation who's dealing with the kids are still at home, but I'm also trying to take care of maybe my elderly parents. And when you add debt to all of that, it creates a mess. And so the best thing you can do is have the financial discipline in place. And it sounds like he went to community college to avoid debt, which I love. Now, if he was strapped with debt and he was like, Mom, I'm broke and I got to live here, it's a different situation.
Right. Well, and sometimes kids do the math and they're great at it, right? They'll sit down. He probably sat down with a spreadsheet and said, I can go to this community college, I can get these classes, do this much, it's going to cost me this great. But they don't factor in the cost of being alive, right? Being alive is expensive these days.
The cost of being alive sounds like a great book title.
It's expensive, right?
Yeah.
And so the cost of being alive right now is rent and insurance and cell phone and all these other things. And so every family does it differently. A friend of ours, their oldest daughter just got married and was like, hey, I'm going to buy a new car. And he's like, good, this is a good time for you to call the insurance company, right? And by the way, what you doing with that cell phone now that you're going to be married? Some people wait till then. Some people, as they're graduating high school, sit down and say, all right, here's what's going to look like the next 5 years. You're going to go to college. We're covering tuition. You're going to pay. But it's all about that hard conversation.
Yeah.
And you got to have it. Otherwise, it ends in messy. You don't love me. You never. And you're like, I gave you everything. It's just stop all that.
Yeah.
Have the hard conversation.
And the worst thing you can do as a parent is you let them go into adulthood because you were, trying to take care of them and cover every single bill. And they go, wait, how much is insurance? What is gas? Oh my goodness. I had no idea how much life costs. And so the sooner our kids can learn that, the better. And that's why I'm excited about a personal finance curriculum that's in high schools, because kids are going, oh, I learned this stuff now before it's too late.
Right. Or before I got thrown into the deep end of the pool, right?
Yeah.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Let's go to Rachel, who's in Spokane, Washington, the city I was born in. What's going on, Rachel?
It's a pretty all right city, I'll say that.
It's great.
Hey.
What can we
thanks
do?
for taking my call. I would love some advice. It's sort of financial related, kind of not my finances, but I am 32 years old, and I'm an independent parent, which means, like, I chose to become a parent by myself after, I was 25, 26, 27, couldn't find anyone. We never aligned with, like, finances or, like, financial ideology or having children.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 years ago, I decided to have a child on my own. I love my daughter. She is the best. Oh, my goodness.
Good for you.
I feel like I really made some good decisions, and she's a little older now. She's 4 now. And, a lot of friends and family are always asking me, like, you should start dating soon. Like, why aren't you going on dates? Like, why are you not doing this? And a really big reason, so I'm 32. I don't have any debt. I don't have any credit card debt. I paid off all my loans, credit card debt, car, all that when I was 26, by the time I was 26. And a huge reason is kind of a feeling of, there's the obvious, not just like letting anyone around my daughter, not just like gonna.
For sure.
I don't want to. There's that reason, but the reason I'm calling is that my friend set me up on a date with one of her work friends or something, her husband's work friend, and we were just chatting. He's like, "Well, how do you do it? How do you like single parent? It must be so hard." And I was like, "Oh, well, like I don't live with debt. I like my job. Like it's not really that hard. Like it's hard if you are like if I'm like very financially stable."
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, well, I'm like $450,000 in debt and like all these things." And he started just kind of naming his. This is my first date with this person.
Wow,
and I was like, "Oh, I know a lot about you." And
what we say not to do on a first date.
I know. Well, at least now you know.
Yeah, and I was like, maybe this is my fault because I was just casually just trying to like keep it lighthearted. Like, oh, I don't live with debt, but like to me, it's been so long since I've lived with debt that I was like, maybe people just love talking about this. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to my friend. She's like, "Oh, like how'd it go?" I was like, I don't really think this is like for me. And when I was explaining, like, it's not just about introducing someone to my daughter's life. It's also about introducing that whatever, like,
sure,
yeah, I'm not going to date without the intention of marriage. And
sure.
And I don't know how to explain, and I don't even know if it's wrong to like not give somebody a chance, knowing that we're on totally different pages. And
you
how
get to set your
explain to friends and
non-negotiables.
family.
Listen, you get to set your non-negotiables. You get to have that list of, here are the things that I really, at this point in my life, want to align on. And you get to say what that is. And you also get to reevaluate that with time. Like, listen, you could come up with a list of 5 things. And if you find out that after 10 years, no one is meeting up to your expectations, you get to decide, well, maybe I am being a little too,
right.
Like, maybe, is there anything that I can change? Or is there anything that I'm being a little too judgmental on? And having listen, you guys talked about this really early in the relationship. Had you have dated for 4 months and fallen in love, and then him sprung on the $500,000 of debt or however much it was, listen, you might have married him anyway, like I did. But
yeah. So I think Rachel, I think you have to, I would go into it, and I wouldn't put this, thing out there that if they do have debts, it's an absolute no.
Right.
And I'm not saying you're saying that, but what's important is the value system, right? So if they came to you and was like, "Oh my gosh, I still have $100,000 of student loan debt and I hate it. I don't want to, I feel this burden. I'm trying to pay it off." Like, that's somebody that you're like, okay, I can get on the same team. We are running in the same direction. And I think the same would be true, for a spiritual aspect, how you want to raise kids.
Yeah.
The in-laws and family, like, these are big topics in life. And when you marry somebody, those topics collide, and you're not always going to be the same person. You're not going to marry the clone of you, right? So you're going to probably always have a different take, a different spin on these things, but the overall direction is what you're looking for. So yeah, I don't think I wouldn't find someone really attractive if he's like, "I got $450,000 in debt and I'm about to go buy another property and keep leveraging myself." I'm like, that's great for you, but that's just not attractive to me. Like, I can't, and I would say the same thing, lines like that in a spiritual sense or with kids, like, right. There's things that you're just like, we just won't be aligned in life. So I don't think you're being too picky. I would say, if you had called and said, yeah, just because he has debt, I won't date him.
Yeah, that's no.
That I wouldn't say that's, I would not go down that route. But
especially if they've been like, and I want to get out of it.
right. So it's all
Right.
about where they're going and what the values are going forward. But I think everyone has kind of that one subject in life that they're really passionate about with the other person, right? And so naturally yours might be money, Rachel, not from a shallow perspective, but something that you really cherish your convictions and you really want to partner in this. And I think that's big.
The thing to consider, especially with the debt aspect of this, is let's just say, you've gone on 4 or 5 dates and it comes up at Applebee's and you start talking about it. Remember, there's still time. Like, you're not getting married tomorrow. So if this guy has $60,000 of debt, there's time for him to pay that off before you get married. Like, does that make sense? Like, if you're really feeling some type of way of like, man, I really sacrificed to pay off my debt. I don't know if I have the stomach to go through another $60,000. Just think about the fact that there's still a timeline. Like, you're not getting married tomorrow, and you'll be able to see if this person really does show and prove what their values are, because are they actively trying to get out of debt? It has 8 months passed and they've paid off nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to see that come out in the wash. So I wouldn't get too hung up on it within, the first few days or even the first few months necessarily if you're on the fence. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah, I think that something was just like a bit of a flag. He was like, "Oh, I have all this money." He's like, "But the government's going to cancel student debt, so that's fine." I was like,
no, red flag
no,
for sure.
No. I feel like that for me. So maybe I should have added that. And I was like, okay, there's one thing to like know you're at least. Some people don't even know how much money they're in debt, but I felt really bad. I was like, I felt really shallow, and I know that it's one thing to ask for someone to not be in debt, but this is great advice. Thank you. No, I just walked away. I was like, I have no idea how I feel about this right now.
And I think give yourself some grace too, because $450,000.
It's a lot of money.
Even if he's trying to get out, that is it's kind of a especially if it doesn't include a mortgage, that's a breathtaking number. So I think that's fair that you're like, oh gosh, like that is a lot of debt, and so. No, I don't think you're being too judgmental. I wouldn't count someone out just because they have debt. It's all about the value system and where they're going moving forward. And could you see yourself with them in the future, right? If they're walking that, but that's separate. And Rachel's just, you're a very, to do what you've done, even with a child, like what was she 30 years old? And all of that, like that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And you've made choices in life that are very mature. And you've taken on a lot of responsibility in life. And so I do think your husband has a high bar, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
Hey, in the chat, I would love when people get a chance to put their thoughts on this in the chat, like what your non-negotiable is. Of
like dating.
Yeah, and we can talk about it at some point because, listen, after paying off the debt that we paid off, if God forbid something happened to Sam Warshaw and I had to get out there in these streets, if somebody came at me, I don't know if I could
do
stomach
it again.
It was just even so like 30K would be like no. So everybody's got their limits.
That's fair, Jade.
I'd be interested to know what you guys think about this. Throw it in the chats.
Create your free every dollar budget today. The simplest way to budget for your life.
Aiden is on the line in Charlotte, North Carolina. Aiden, how can we help?
Yes, thank you. So I'll give you a little backstory. First of all, thank you so much for what you guys have done. You've changed my family tree.
Wow.
Back in the day, my dad started FPU, I think, 12 years ago, and now they're doing amazing. I am currently 16 years old, and so still in school, obviously. And my question is, I have a job opportunity that I could go take next week if I wanted to, and didn't know if it's better to just simply drop out of school, start working, get these next few years in early, and then later on get my GED and go from there.
What's the job?
It is, so it's a stone manufacturing company. So like the fake stone that you see on walls and stuff, it's not really fake. It's concrete that's kind of painted, I guess.
Yeah.
And they create those stones.
Is that a job that puts you on a ladder to climb to where you ultimately want to be? My goodness, you're only 16, and I love that you're thinking about this, but where does this put you long term? if you were to go now or 2 years from now?
So it would give me just a head start. That is what I'm looking at it from. And yes, I could climb, and there's definitely opportunities for raises and bonuses.
No, I'm not asking about
basically-
financial. I know, I can
Okay.
hear you, man. You are a 16-year-old kid who's got dollar signs rolling around in your head, and your dad and mom done a great job by teaching you about money. I get that. I'm not talking about financial, because it's indisputable that if a 16-year-old starts working now, you're ahead of every other 16-year-old. I get that. I'm saying, does going in this job at a stone manufacturer, is that your dream? Is that where you want to be?
So not officially, but it would get me closer to where I want to be eventually.
Which is what?
I want to get into business ownership and real estate.
No.
Would be the dream.
Okay, so first of all, Aiden, I love you, man. But and I'm the guy. If there was anybody that ever would say it's okay to drop out of high school, I'm the guy.
Well, I'm the girl, because
You
I'd say
too?
it. Oh,
It freaks
yeah.
parents out. I'm freaking people out right now. I'm not telling anybody to drop out of high school, but we would not drop out of high school unless we were making such a huge strategic decision that you had to take at the time. And the reason I say that is, and by the way, I think high school, like, I'm the guy that goes, 16 is probably old enough. Let's let him graduate. I would reform and totally redo the education system. I'm not going to get into that, Aiden. That's not why you called. I'm just saying, I'm the guy that would be most willing to give you the advice to do it. In this situation, I would not do it. And here's the reason. You have the financial education. Your mom and dad have done a great job setting you up to win. Your head is on right as far as thinking about the future and finances. But we live in a world still where there is a stigma, and there's stigmas on a lot of stuff. There shouldn't be stigmas, but there is a stigma on the GED.
Yep.
There just is. And in this case, the return on this decision, right? You hear about return on investment. Well, I like to talk about return on a decision. If I decide to do this versus this, I want to know that there's a huge positive return. And I don't think it's positive enough. I'm guessing your mom and dad aren't really thrilled about the idea either.
And the job connection
The job
is
connection's
very
not there.
loose.
You want to own your own business one day and you want to get into real estate. You know what I think you ought to do, Aiden? I think you ought to stay in school, but I think you need to get hooked up with a real estate professional, maybe a developer, maybe a builder, maybe a world-class real estate agent, and do everything you can with them. If they'll give you a part-time job doing grunt work, do that.
Yep.
If they'll let you shadow them, do that. Because if I know at 16 a direction I want to go, I want to get in proximity, and I'm going to give you an early Christmas present. It's the #1 best-selling book called The Proximity Principle, which says, Aiden, in order to do what Aiden wants to do, he's got to be around people that are doing it and in places where it is happening. My good friend Jade knows this formula. She's used it. It's simply this. The right people plus the right places equals opportunity, Jade.
Absolutely. I've seen it. I've seen it in full effect, Ken. And I think that if Aiden kind of holds his horses here and plays his cards right, like what you're saying, I think he's going to see it work for him too. You know, he's got a lot of time. He's got a lot of time.
But I am so happy to get a call from a 16-year-old who's thinking big, Jade.
Yeah, he's got his head on straight. His parents, see, this is not one of the whiners that we talked about early on.
No.
This kid's got his head on straight. He's willing and ready to work. I love that.
He's a
I
young
love that about
man.
him.
He's a young man.
I almost.
He's not a boy.
Man.
He's
There
a
we go.
man. He's a young man, you know, and because he's thinking big picture, and I love this. But here's the deal for young people listening in, and Jade, you know, you talked about, you live this. When we make a decision, please look at it from every angle.
Oh yeah,
and
you
it's
got
not
it.
about getting ahead in the now. The decision must be about getting ahead in the next. And he's thinking now, and I love this kid. He's 16, but he's going, well, I just make more money for 2 more years. Well, the negative of that decision outweighs the positive of having more money in his account.
You know, there's this teaching that I heard a while back. I've heard it many times. It's called the 20/20 approach.
Yeah.
And back in Florida at our church, this couple used to come, Mac and Julie Richard, and their whole thing was parenting. And they used to teach 20/20 parenting, where it's parenting for the the 20 minutes or 20 years.
Oh,
and that approach,
That's it.
that approach works in so many other ways. When you're thinking about career, when you're thinking about your money, it's so important to think about the 2020 approach. Am I making this decision that's going to feel good for the next 20 minutes, that's going to be convenient for the next 20 minutes, or am I thinking about the next 20 years? That's 2020. Thank you, Mac and Julie Richard.
Wow.
Lake Hills Church, Austin,
She's
Texas.
Jade Warshaw. Now you know why I say she's fabulous. I'm Ken Coleman, and this is The Ramsey Show. Don't move.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I have found myself, like, in 14 months that I've been to, say, United States, I've been into this loop, and my income is, like, very low, and I can't seem to bring it any higher because I don't have any experience. I'm server at a restaurant, like, I make about $3,000 per month. So I was thinking, like, should I avoid rent and then buy, like, a SUV, and I kind of live in it until I save up some money and get some skills, or is it a stupid idea?
Where are you living now?
West Haven, Connecticut.
No, where? Like, are you renting an apartment? Are you living with family, friends?
I'm renting an apartment. It's about like $650 per month. It's not much, but my income is also very low.
Okay, no, $650 sounds very reasonable.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that?
Yeah. Well, how are you having trouble keeping it together?
Did you take on debt?
I have like $4,000 for down payment. Then I was thinking about financing one, and then putting the rent on the finance car, and that way I could go to school like easier and everything. But if I can buy a car and rent a room, but I won't be able to save a penny, and like I would be stuck in this situation for like very long. That's what I'm thinking.
Can I give you a pro tip for being a new immigrant to the States? And if you can avoid this thing, you will have such a wonderful life of opportunity. And it's this: don't fall for the American trap of debt. No country in the world makes it so easy and so attractive to take on payments like the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm scared that you're already getting starry-eyed going, ooh, could finance a car, and they're saying they can get the payment down to $300 a month, and so I might as well get a nicer, newer car. Do you have any debt currently?
No.
Yeah, please take it from two guys who've been down that road. Don't do that. I would rather see you go 4 years and get out of school, scratching and clawing and barely making it every month, and you get out and you have a degree and you don't owe anybody anything other than having a car that is now worth 35 or 40% of what you bought it for, and being stuck. You got a good deal. You live in one of the most expensive places to live. It's very expensive. Like a cost of living in West Haven, Connecticut, it's very expensive. Why did you pick that place?
I just chose this school back there from my country, and then I got accepted, and I was like, okay, let's try it. It wasn't my plan to come here, and then I got into school for free, and everything was good. But I'm thinking that because I've never paid rent, never worked before, never had like money to manage it, and this whole thing is new for me.
Excellent.
So I'm kind of like,
so let me tell you this: there's a
$650 on rent, and it's going like away like $7,000. You say $7,000 per year. I mean, I know it's reasonable, but
no, it's like, $650 is a very good deal. But listen, there is there's it kind of barbells, right? It kind of is an either or. There are students in the United States who borrow everything and live high on the hog for 4 years, and then they end up calling this show because they have run their life into the ground. The other part of the culture that doesn't get much media play is millions and millions of students scratch and claw their way through. And they work as waiters, and then they get up in the morning and they drive Uber, and they live in the cheapest apartment they can safely live in, and then they just bide their time for 4 years. And they take advantage of the school health clinic, and they take advantage of the school counseling system, and they take advantage of the school gym, and they keep their expenses low. And so if you've got free tuition in the U.S., you're already way far ahead. Don't make it worse. by borrowing money. I would much rather. You're on the right path. I'm going to send you. We're going to send you Financial Peace University, and it's a class that 10 million plus people have gone through to teach them just what you're experiencing is how do we manage this money, okay? And if you'll watch these lessons, it will give you a play-by-play on how to do it, okay? But, man, you're ahead of the game. You're ahead of the game. You're ahead of the game. I know you feel like you're not. I'm telling you, you are. And you're going to look up in 4 years and have a U.S. degree. You're going to have learned some great skills. And please don't owe anybody any money when it's over, especially not on a depreciating asset. What I mean by that is when you buy a car, the moment you drive it off the lot, it has lost money. And every day it loses money. It just becomes worth less and less and less, but your payment never changes, okay?
Okay.
You said you have $4,000 saved up?
Yes.
Way to go. So instead of seeing that as a down payment, see it as this is my car budget right now total, right?
But can I get like a reliable car for $4,000?
Well, you might. Well, let's say you could save up another $2,000 over the next 3 months, right?
Right.
Now your car budget's $6,000.
And yes, absolutely 100%.
Yeah. And it's not going to be the nicest. It's not going to be anything like the new cars that they show you on the lot, but you're not driving this car for 20 years. You're going to drive it for maybe 2 years until you can save up and be in a better place and upgrade the car. You'll sell that one for probably what you paid for it and then upgrade with the money you have saved up. Do you see that kind of slow burn by using cash and how it slows you down to make better decisions?
Yes.
And here's the other thing. Anybody who tells you otherwise isn't telling you the truth. I was a dean of students at a law school, and I drove a $3,500 truck because me and my wife were trying to get out of debt. And she was a professor, and she drove. It was probably a $4,000 Corolla, and nobody cared. They just wanted to know, are you showing up and doing a great job at your job? And so when you're young, people are like, no, dude, they won't take you seriously if you don't have this car. Dude.
They don't pay your bills.
Show up and do a great job at school and be able to focus on school. And dude, you need as little stress as possible trying to figure out a new culture, new languages, new schooling stuff. You don't need to add financial stress to a bank on there. So yeah, go buy yourself a $5,000 car, man. It's going to be an old Camry. Find yourself an old truck. It's not going to be sexy. It's not going to look great. It will get you to and from.
And let me advise you, get a pre-purchase inspection. It's going to cost you $100, $150. It's going to be worth every penny so that you don't go, oh my gosh, I got a $5,000 car. It needs 3,000 repairs the week after I bought it. Get a pre-purchase inspection from a mechanic that you trust, an independent one that can look it over and go, all right, this car is not going to have a bunch of issues. It's in solid condition. This will get you another 50,000, 100,000 miles. And that will put you in a place to then save up because you free up that payment. Now you can save that money and upgrade in car. And I'm going to also send you my book, Breaking Free from Broke, on top of Financial Peace. Read the car loans chapter specifically, and I walk you through the right way to buy a car, every single step from the payment to the research, the negotiating, all of that to give you some confidence and clarity. And the one thing you're not going to do is walk away with a payment.
Okay. I
and
appreciate
man,
it.
you're 14 months in. You're doing really,
Yeah, we're
really
on your
good.
side, my man.
We're rooting for you.
We're glad
so-
you're here. Go to school and get a great degree, man.
And don't be tempted by American stupidity. I know they make it look so cool, but everyone is miserable and broke and anxious, and I don't want you to become that.
Yeah.
There's too much opportunity for you. So hang on the line. We're going to send you Financial Peace University and Breaking Free from Broke. I hope you can avoid the traps that America has created for you.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Robert awaits us in my hometown of Boston, Massachusetts. Robert, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you guys?
We are doing great. How can we help?
Thanks for taking my call. So I'm 23 years old, and I just paid off my student loans in 1 year, which is $27,000.
Way to go.
Thank you. So I have an IT job right now. I'm making $70,000 a year, and with that, I get a 401k and a 4% company match, so I put 10% in right now, and I think that's looking pretty good. But so I live at home with my parents rent-free right now, and I pay all my expenses, and I have no debt other than at all, actually. So I'm thinking of doing house hacking to move out eventually in a couple of years, and I was wondering how I should get started with that, and what do you guys think I need to save for that?
How much do you have in savings right now?
I have about $10,000 left over after paying all my student loans and stuff.
Okay, so let's call that your emergency fund?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're investing 10%. What does the company match?
4%.
Well, if you're following the baby steps, are you a new listener to the plan?
Relatively.
Okay. So you would be what we call baby step 4, which is invest 15% of your income into retirement. So if I'm in your shoes, I'm bumping that up. At 23 years old with no debt and some money in the bank, you're in such an incredible financial position. And you're wondering, well, where does home ownership fall into this? Well, that would be baby step 3B is what we call that, saving up for that down payment on a house. And you can do this your own way when it comes to 3B and 4. Some people like to invest all 15% and keep saving for the down payment. Some people bring their investing down to nothing to save for that down payment more aggressively. So in your shoes, you're young. You could do that in order to create some more margin, but I wouldn't touch that $10,000. Let's call that savings for emergencies. So now the next goal is, how much is the house that you are looking to buy, this duplex?
I haven't found anyone in particular, but I'm thinking around $200,000 to $400,000. That'd be my range.
Have you actually found duplexes for sale in the Boston area in that range?
Like ones that need renovations and they're fixer-uppers.
It doesn't sound like you're going to have money for renovations.
Hmm.
Because your plan is, I'm going to live on one side and the renter is going to live in the other, and they're going to magically pay my mortgage. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
What are the values of duplexes in these areas? I mean, do they hold their value?
Typically, because in the Boston area, it's very hard to get housing.
Okay.
I imagine there's people, duplexes are in high demand because of this idea that you're talking about. So I don't know that you're going to find a deal on a duplex unless it needs a lot of renovations. And man, at 23 with no money, that is a dangerous scenario. Because what happens when the tenant doesn't pay on time? Oh, and by the way, they live next door. And so anytime something happens, they're knocking on your door because they know the landlord lives next door.
Oh, that's awful.
And so I would just tread with caution. I know this is big advice on TikTok on the financial side of, hey, just house hack. It's so easy. You can make so much money. But man, it is so much more complicated than that, and it can be very risky.
Is that what house hacking is? I wasn't going to ask, but now I don't care.
That's the idea.
I don't know what it
Robert,
means.
did I sum it up well as to what house hacking is?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
That's basically what
You get
it
a
is.
duplex, 4 family, and you live in one unit, and you rent out the other ones, which then ideally pays for your mortgage and then some.
Do you want to live with your renters? That's a really, boy, you ought to do that on the talk, George, because I think that would get some views for you.
Nobody wants my opinion there because they're all wanting to make money, Ken. They don't want to hear
But
the
they're not
ninny-muggins.
thinking about living next door to their renters. And when something goes wrong, guess what?
Absolutely.
And what happens if you don't get back to them fast enough and they got anger issues?
Well, when the HVAC goes
I
out,
could go on and on.
It's on you to fix and you to pay for. And so that's what worries me, Robert, is it sounds like you're looking to put as little down to get into this thing as possible on a 30-year in order to get the renter to pay the other side.
Yeah.
And so our housing advice is a 15-year fixed-rate mortgage because we want you in debt for as little time as possible, and where the payment is no more than a quarter of your take-home pay. And so if you can do that, and without having a tenant involved, then I would say you're financially ready to get that duplex or buy a house. And that might mean you need to save up, 40% as a down payment instead of 5% in order to make those numbers work. But it's not to be, super fundamental and go, you're doing it wrong if you don't do it this way. It's because of risk.
Yeah.
And all you see on paper is upside if you can just crunch the numbers. But reality is a whole lot different.
Yeah. So, Robert, let me flip this. If you knew that you could buy a home that only you lived in and you could pay it off quickly and then reap the benefits of that very sound investment much later in life, would you choose that or the housing hack idea?
Well, I was always thinking that I could use the housing hack idea as an investment in the future, where when I'm 30, I can move out of that and have those two being rented and then buy a house after that. But I do like the idea of maybe being able to pay off my own house a lot quicker.
Yeah, then buy another house. But the point is you skip the whole idea where you're a landlord.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a landlord. You just want to make money wisely. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So maybe we start looking at, hey, let's get a condo for Robert that he can live in. Maybe you want to get a roommate. Maybe you get a 2-bedroom condo and you can get a roommate. But I wouldn't go investing in real estate until you've got a paid-for house yourself and you're at a different place financially. And there's no rush. Man, you're 23. Who cares if you get into this at 33 or 43? Everyone feels like I'm too late, Ken. If I don't get into it, there's an 18-year-old on TikTok who got started, and now he's making millions. Man, I think we got to get off social media for a while.
I got a phrase for you. Stop with the housing hacks. Stay with the housing facts.
Wow. Robert, are you going to tweet that?
Nothing says middle-aged man like that.
Yeah.
They don't like that on the talk.
No one likes that.
Yeah, but it's a fact.
It's true. Well,
it is. Yeah.
Robert, I hope that helps. I know I didn't want to stomp on your parade there and rain on it, but I've just seen too many situations where it doesn't go according to plan, like it did on paper, and the TikTok said it was going to be easy and it would always work out, and life is just messy, man. So the best thing you can do is walk into this thing with patience, with wisdom, and with more money than you think you need, because it's expensive.
Brought to you by CHM, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
Hey there. Thanks for having me. It's Nadine. Thank you.
1 point for Ken.
I'm in a bit of a weird pickle in a sense. I inherited my family farm, my parents' farm, and some money, and it excluded my siblings. And so
Why?
now two out of three of them are millionaires. So the original will kind of mentioned like $10,000 each. And then my dad had mentioned after my mom passed that he's going to put the farm in a trust that will pass through without probate, and he was going to change the will. I had no idea he'd cut out my siblings, and now they're all mad at me because they think I'm the one who did all this.
Oh, interesting.
No. Yeah, so it's kind of like opposite of winning the lottery. You know, everyone wants to be your friend when you win, but when you inherit something, they feel like you're the bad person.
Sure.
And I'm like, and even if I were to, $10,000 is not going to make a huge difference in their lives.
Is that all that's left? Is that what you're saying? Is that if you did split it 4 ways, is it just $10,000 to each person? Is that what it would be?
No, actually, that was my parents were savers, so there was a little bit more than that.
Okay. So what's your question for us? Is it what to do?
Yeah, $10,000 seems so nominal to be petty about, but even if I were to give it to them, I feel like it's never enough. And
well, hold on a second. I'm still confused, and we have only about a minute here. Is the amount that was given to you is how much?
It was over, with the farm and everything, it was like $500,000.
Okay, where do you keep coming up with this $10,000 number? I don't understand.
That was in the original will that my dad had before my mom passed.
And is that what they're wanting? Is that $10,000, or are they wanting a fourth of the $500,000?
That's the thing. I'm not sure. But
why don't you sit down with your siblings and have an honest conversation and go, guys, I had nothing to do with this, and that's why I wanted to have the conversation. What do you all prefer we do? What do you all think is fair? If that's what you want to do. Now, you got 2 directions. You can either say, I'm going to honor Dad's will, and I'm going to deal with the fallout, or I don't want to deal with the fallout. I love my siblings. Let's get in a room and solve it.
Yeah, we're all adults here. Let's figure it out.
This is pretty easy.
And again, if they are confident, healthy people and you can do that, that's great.
Millionaires, too.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, I hope that helps. Thanks for the call. CHM isn't health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry. Check it out for yourself at chministries.org/budget.
Lauren is with us in Oklahoma City. Hi, Lauren. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi there. How's it going?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Just a quick question on what your ideas, opinions, input is on following a passion job versus financial security, stability, essentially chasing the money. I'm 42 years old, have a double income with my wife. We have 2 kids, very little debt, about $50,000 total debt, including a vehicle and medical debts. I just started a couple of months ago going back to school to become a teacher.
Why?
This will introduce new debt.
Why?
Essentially to follow a passion. I started school. I graduated high school in.
Your
in
passion is to be a
98.
teacher in the classroom, or to
Yeah.
teach,
Yep.
or to teach.
To be a teacher in a classroom.
Because I'm a teacher,
Okay.
but I didn't take a pay cut.
Right. Essentially, this hopefully would get me better stability and job. Not necessarily higher income, though. It would be a bump based on where I teach and whatnot. But yeah.
What do you make now?
Roughly 35.
And what would you make in the classroom?
About 45 to 60.
So you're going to make more.
Again, depending on where I teach. Yeah.
You're going to make more than you make now.
Right.
I thought you were saying you would have to go down in income to work your passion.
No. It would be a bump in income.
Oh, okay. Well, why would you not do it?
Yeah. It would introduce more debt.
Oh,
such
well,
as
just
student
go
loan
get
debt.
your teaching certificate without going into debt. Pay cash for it.
A little tough.
No, it's not. It's called work.
Yeah.
Lauren, the way you phrased up your debt initially, you said, "Oh, we just have a little bit of debt, just 50 grand." So it tells me you're broke. Right. How is it a little debt if you can't afford to cash flow school because of it?
Right. We essentially live paycheck to paycheck. We have.
What's your wife work? What's your wife work make?
What's that?
What's your wife make?
About $33,000.
Okay, so you have a $68,000 household income, which is the average household income in America. How much is your car payment?
$400 or $398 a month.
Sell your car.
And we have about $22,000 left on the loan.
Yeah, sell your car.
Okay.
You're not going to do that. I could tell by the way you answered that. See, here's the thing. You've got it in your head that you get to do all of these things at once. Keep a car you can't afford, go get a degree you can't afford. Meanwhile, making the excuse of we live paycheck to paycheck, and that's an excuse, it's not a fact.
Right.
Sell your stinking car, get 3 extra jobs, go to the community college and get your teaching certificate, and pay cash for your teaching certificate, and live your dream with no additional debt. By the way, when you sell your car, cut your debt in half.
Right. That would.
Something for you to think about, dude. I don't know if you're going to do it or not, because I think you got this all figured out in your head that you want to go be normal. The way you're describing is normal, but I'll help you with this. Normal sucks. You're getting ready to keep a $22,000 car you can't afford and go get a degree and put another $25,000 or $30,000 on top of this and get a $10,000 bump, and you're going to whine that teachers don't make enough.
What I'm hearing is we're already 50 grand in debt. What's another 20, 30, 40 to get this?
Well,
degree?
it's just this mindset that this is normal and it's the only way to do it. Well, it's not the only way to do it. I'll guarantee you can work overtime, you can work extra jobs, and you can go to the cheapest possible local university, community college, whatever it is you got to do to finish up your work to get your teaching certificate. And I want you to go be a teacher. I just don't want you to be dumb about it. Because it's just going to cost you. It's going to cost you a decade of your life doing this wrong. And it really has to do with this stupid car. And it has to do with you not being willing to sacrifice and dial this down. Instead, you're just kind of going the easy way. And the easy way is always not the easy way. It's always the hard way.
And the truth is, even with this bump in income, you're going to be broke again. You're not going to fix the problem.
There you go, because you've gone up in debt enough that it sucks up every bit of that new income. And so all the joy from this is going to be gone. Shane is with us in Cleveland, Ohio. Hi, Shane. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, thank you both. It's an honor to be speaking with you.
You too. What's up?
Hey, so my question is this. I guess a little context. My wife and I discovered your program 2 years ago, which a lot has happened in the last 2 years, obviously. Very thankful for that. And we'll be in baby step 7 a year from today is our plan. And my question to you is, does it ever make sense to have more than one financial advisor in your corner?
What would be the purpose?
So we've been looking through the ELPs, we've been shopping around, and we found some really great people in our area, and there's just a few that we really like, and we're just curious, does it make sense to maybe give a little bit of money one and then a little bit of money to the other and see who performs better, Is that just overcomplicating things, or does it make sense to do that? I try to keep things as simple as possible.
Yeah. It's using the tool wrong. It's not up to them to perform. It's up to you to perform. It's up to them to teach you, and you make the decisions. And if both of them are teaching you and they're giving you slightly different teaching, then you're just going to be confused. So I would use one, but you don't want to, you're not handing them the money as a test and going, okay, who wins the race? Because they're not in the race, you are. You see the difference?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and so, you know, I don't get two tax guys to run or tax people to run my tax returns to see who wins. I need my taxes done right with the most possible money not going to the government, the least money going to the government possible. And, you know, so that's the goal that is legal and moral. And, you know, we just came through an audit, which is the first time I've gotten that wonderful inspection of my body parts.
It's like an enema, right?
Yeah, unbelievable. And it came out, you know what I came out with? Owing zero.
Wow.
That's how good we are, because we're fanatics about the integrity of doing it properly.
Right, yeah.
We don't lie, we don't cut corners, we don't cheat. I hate taxes. I hate that the government takes so much of my money, but I'm going to do it exactly right. So it's my job to make sure that the stuff's filed right, and I use an advisor, a professional in that corner. Yeah, I just learned to play golf. I've been learning to play golf. I'm not any good in the last 3 years. And one of the best pieces of advice I got, and everybody's got a freaking opinion about golf. I've never seen a sport with as much diverse, stupid stuff in it. I mean, my God. And so, but one of the single best piece of advice I got is don't get more than one coach. Because they'll make you schizophrenic at your golf swing. And, you know, make you multiple personalities with your golf swing, whatever the phrase is. It's a metaphor here. But anyway, so yeah, I got one guy, and I'm doing that. When I cease to believe that he's moving me to the next level, then I'll get a different guy.
Well, and that's what I heard here is, I like them. I want them to prove themselves to me. And if you don't trust the person with your retirement account that's teaching you, go to somebody else.
But the proving needs to be, did I learn something, and am I comfortable making these choices
the call with my money?
Because they showed me how to handle my money.
Right.
Not because I handed it to them and one of them does better than the other one.
Or they gave me some magic dust package that was going to get an X return, right?
The financial world is full of those people.
Yes.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's what we're looking for. So that's a really good question,
Great
Shane.
question.
But yeah, I use one insurance professional. I use one real estate professional, my son-in-law. I use one, you know, I one golf coach, one SmartVestor Pro.
Oh, that makes sense, because I had sent you an email back just asking if I could help you with your golf swing, and you never wrote back. I now understand. It wasn't because of me.
It's because I have played golf with Happy Gilmore. You know the running swing that Gilmore has as he runs at the ball with a driver?
I'm not great.
This is John.
I'm not great.
I played with John, and John drove a 310-yard green. On the 18th green, he drove the green, 310 yards. The rest of the day, he drove the woods with style.
Hey, man.
I mean,
I'm not great.
I don't know how many balls he started with. I know how many he ended with.
I borrowed somebody's clubs because I don't have my own. And a week later, they're like, "Hey, man, you owe me like $20."
Yeah, you tore up my clubs.
In balls. Yeah,
you used up their golf balls. $20.
Hey, man, I sent golf balls all over
I don't
America.
know where. No, that was $200. $20 wouldn't have bought those golf balls.
I'm not great, Dave. I'm not great. Not great.
Yeah, you brought it up. You brought up coaching me, so I'm just saying. I'm not great, but I'm not Happy Gilmore.
You're better than me.
I was afraid we're going to have to go in the pond out with that alligator and get some of those back. Oh, great. Thank you, Adam Sandler, for the memories.